Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Fireside Cast. I am Eki in the booth with Bong Gripper. The dynamic trio is back. We've got Pika on production as well. The long separated casting crew has returned for the final match of the RGL season. Amateur Grand Finals between Starman Kick and Enemy Team. Feeling pretty good about the matchup tonight. How are you feeling about it, Long Gripper?
I am so excited to be here, especially just to, wrap up this season right now, put a little bow on it. Yeah, this should be a good match, and we're starting off with Koth, which I know is our favorite to do. And
Hmm.
I believe this is only a best of 3 tonight.
Yeah, this is a best of three. Unlike all the other divisions, newcomer and amateur only play best of three in their playoffs, which, you know, I think that's a good thing. They don't have to deal with the horror that is the upper bracket map advantage, but that's that's a can of worms for another stream, another day. But going into this matchup here, we don't want to waste any time. I know these guys are a little late, and I guess so are we. But we don't know. I think when they are going to when they're going to go live. So I guess let's just run down these rosters and get over these maps really quick. Your roster for Starman Kick, your scouts are going to be Value and Marks V. Your roamer and pocket will be Vap and Mystic Liquid. Your demo will be Mike's, and your medic will be Unknown.
And then on the other side of things, we have enemy team. The scouts are going to be the Oatsman and Tracking. Soldiers are going to be Slater and Santa. Demo Man is going to be Fine Lo-Fi, and Medic is going to be Tadpole.
Now, I don't really know a lot of these players. I know Value and Marks V a little bit, but the rest of the players on Starman I'm not familiar with, and I'm really not familiar with any of the people on enemy team. Um, honestly, I haven't been keeping up with the season as much as I should be. But if I'm not mistaken, Starman Kick is the number one seeded team here tonight, and enemy team is looking to dethrone them. Although I guess the seeding doesn't really matter at this point. Like I said, they don't get the horrors that are the upper bracket map advantage. I think they get the pick ban advantage or something down here. I don't remember how it works. But that said, let's go ahead and look at the maps here. If I'm not mistaken, our first map will be Bagel. Gullywash will be our second map, and Sunshine will be our third.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like this little map rotation right now. It should be fun for us to cast at least. This is a little bit of info though. Starman did beat enemy team 5-2 on goalie in the regular season. But enemy team did pick goalie tonight, so that's going to be interesting to see. I mean, they might feel a little bit more confident. Maybe it was a bit earlier in the season, and they're like, okay, we have this map down now. We took our hard loss, so we grinded up with demo reviews and stuff like that. I'm feeling way more confident
Mhm.
this time. We'll have to see, which usually isn't the case because they only play one map per week, right? It's not like two maps
Mhm.
per week like they do in any other division above it. So usually,
Mhm.
what a lot of things that happen with these lower division teams is they'll play this map one time and be like, oh man, you know what? Just 1 week, we got it over with. We don't really need to worry about it anymore. But they're in
Yeah.
grand finals. They've had a chance to play it, and we're going to be going live here on Bagel, starting off amateur grand finals.
Yeah, amateur grand finals underway here again. The last match of this RGL season. So everything is getting left out on the field here, and everybody is turning up with the hopes of walking away with the gold trophy to display on their profile. And unfortunately, they won't walk away with a placement medal, but they will be walking away with a dub under their belt. Immediately tracking finds three. That's Marks v Mystic Liquid and Mike's, three of them going down. Tracking finally gets deleted by Value, but unfortunately for Starman Kick, they're just not really able to recoup from that loss of players. And pretty much as soon as that mid started, it's already over, and the point has been capped in favor of enemy team.
Yeah, usually when you're bringing the Pocket Scout or the Flank Scout over to left house to contest early, you're able to do a lot more with it just because you have closer heal advantage. But, looks like the rest of enemy team was just able to win that super hard right now. And now that everybody's just selling up for Tadpole right now, one after the other. Gonna be even scout kills right now, and blue has flipped the point over in their favor, so they're just gonna be playing a little bit more passively on their side of things right now. So slowing down generally until we see some sort of show up, but a scout running across immediately, and they're trying to take this advantage. Not much advantage though, as Unknown does pop right afterwards.
Yeah, this isn't looking like it's going to be too great regardless for Starman Kick. They used that Uber in, but they didn't manage to find any kills for it, and now they're kind of scrambling to find their position, but Oatsman does go down here as looks like enemy team trying to backpedal just a little bit. They slowly start making their way a little bit further forward, but Santa goes down, and Tracking just goes a little bit too far forward over the point and gets taken down, gets punished for that aggression. So it looks like Starman Kick is going to be able to hold on to this point. They're going to net themselves 30 seconds worth of time ad, which is nothing to scoff at. I mean, as we've seen with a lot of the open conf games, 30 seconds can feel like an impassable canyon a lot of the time. It tends to put a lot more pressure onto players that may just be unfamiliar with the way that COF flows, but these two teams are in the grand finals for a reason, and I don't think that's going to be any obstacle for them. But a minute of time ad now for Starman Kick, and enemy team is looking to probably bust out through lower.
Yeah, try a 4-man or something. They tried to do a 4-man and just lost one in the attempt of losing way more time, but they're able to get one pick really early on, which already makes this amazing sort of push as long as they don't completely collapse here. They do pop the Uber extremely early. It's going to be Tadpole running across the point with the Uber, but they just want to get the Uber out and back off to their side. They know that they have some player advantage to work with right now, so they're just trying to bunker their med. Soldier bombs in onto the roof and has to jump away now, so all they have to worry about right now is the pressure on point right now, but they're just walking across and getting huge damage. Slater onto Unknown, gets the kill. Very, very nice kill in the cleanup, and that's going to be a dominant point flip right there. That's exactly what you want to do if you're taking that sort of Uber exchange without having the point capture in your control, right? I mean, you're just trying to play off that Uber advantage and just pressing it even further. So they come out on top and pretty dominant at that too, with now almost 60% Uber ad.
Yeah, and that is exactly the kind of situation you want to find yourself in. Like you said, that's the best outcome you can look for there when you try and take that kind of exchange. You walk out of it with the med kill, and now you're walking out of it with 60 Uber ad. However, it does look like Starman Kick is trying to pressure just a little bit too aggressively here. I think they're starting to realize their situation is a little more awkward than their positioning permits. They're a little forward, and if an Uber comes out, they will get caught out. That's a nice pipe from Final Lo-Fi onto Unknown. Unknown gets taken down. The Oatsman and Tadpole both laying just immense amounts of damage down onto Starman Kick, and that is the only pick they are going to get for it. So now it's up to enemy team to bunker around, or to hunker around their medicine friend.
Oh,
Mike's goes down. Tadpole goes down. Beautiful rocket from Vap. Value dies for it. They lose 2 on the side of Starman Kick, but that's 2 down for a med. And now Marksv actually finds Santa, which nets them a good cushy net. Vap ends up walking into some stickies, and Tracking takes him down. So the point has flipped yet again for Starman Kick. Half cap for enemy team. And I believe right now Starman Kick is kind of in an awkward position. They're bunched up on concrete and things aren't looking fantastic for them, but I think they're going to be able to turn this around pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, the collapse that just came in from enemy team was just exactly what they needed right now, but still 20% Uber ad right now, and using Santa really early on, so they're going to have to cower in their own lobby right now and try to get this Uber somewhat even when they are at dis ad, actually. So this gives another point for a very dominant forward hold, which they've shown they've been able to do already. Only reason they weren't able to get that last forward hold the last time was just they gave up a kill extremely early from just one player being way too far forward and overextended. If they can clean that up, it'll be totally fine. But it looks like they're nuking in the left corner. Soldier trying to run right now is able to get out, but here comes the combo from lower. They're shooting the combat players, but Uber does come out with 3 seconds remaining. They're going to have to get to point right now. And I'm not sure if they're going to be able to. They do touch it. Scout on it right now as long as the demo, but Soldier on nipple means that there's really no chance of getting that guy off and actually winning that DM fight. So first round going over to Starman.
Yeah, and the really unfortunate part for enemy team there is that their med died with 99% Uber. So they were very close to being able to just take an Uber over that point, but unfortunately, they weren't able to stay alive for that 1 extra second. Just too much damage came their way. They got a little panicked and started running for the point in that overtime. And I mean, I can't really blame them. They had no cap time, really, and they only lost because their demo got juggled up high enough to get taken off the point, but there's 2 players down for each team tracking. Oh my god, now Value and Santa gonna get traded out here. 3 players alive for each team, a soldier, a scout, and well, now it's just a soldier and a medic alive for the side of Starman Kick. Now the soldier gets rushed down. Oatman finds the kills and now finds Unknown as well. That's a 3K on this mid to secure enemy team the point and also net them 70% Uber ad. This is a very, very good position to find themselves in. Far better than the previous round. I mean, going from last round where it was pretty much completely even for most of the fight, now going into 70% Uber ad, can't ask for much better.
Yeah, one thing I really noticed on that mid is that, you know, red team, they went for that right side shove, and enemy team were able to get a lot off of it, but their Starman Kick did rotate their combo early on, which will let them win the left house fight, but one scout just ran solo onto point alone, and then they just crumbled to anybody walking across now, just leaving their medic out to dry. So that's one easy way to give up your med's life, is just not covering the people walking across point when you're really focusing on these houses. So good adjustment for them, but I would love to see them adapt further with making sure that they still have presence on point while trying to react to these house shoves.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to have a little bit more presence when those house shoves are coming out, but ignoring that for just a brief moment, the force does come out from the side of Starman Kick, and they lose Marks V for it. They're continuing to drive this Uber across the point. Find Lo-Fi gets flashed at the very end of the Uber for enemy team. Now the pinch comes in from both soldiers. Value finds Tadpole. Vap and Mike's both go down. It's 2 down for each team. Now 3 down as Tracking and Mystic Liquid go down. Very good play from Value to find Tracking there and keep Unknown in the fight. This is a very tight-knit combo here.
Oh, nice one. Oh my god, Santa!
Big bomb. Oh my goodness, Santa. Now a big bomb coming in from Slater. Not quite able to find the final rocket onto Unknown, but does get a lot of good damage. If there was an Uber there, it would get forced. Mike's ends up blowing himself up onto the Oats man, doing too much damage. Now it looks like we have Tracking trying to pressure a little bit further forward, trying to get some damage onto Unknown, but with 2 players down, 1 now spawning. Enemy team doesn't really have any authority to be pushing forward here. Now that they've lost Santa as well, they're gonna have to back out. They're gonna have to regroup here, try and put all their ducks in a row, and then get themselves back out onto the point. They do have a minute worth of time ad as well. This is worth noting, so they have some time to mess around and make some mistakes.
Here comes the Uber though. They want to take it aggressively, and they get Tadpole extremely early on in this exchange, which might just mean that Unknown can get out scot-free as long as players aren't going in behind or collapsing too much. There is Slater going directly behind in the enemy team grass right now, going to be going for the bomb onto the medic. Doesn't hit any damage on him, so Unknown staying alive yet again. Unknown's just been getting out in such narrow avenues right now. Like, it looks like he's dead probably 5 times this round, and he just gets away on 10 HP. So the rest of the team just find themselves in lucky situations to where Unknown is barely able to slip away, and even though it looks like there's something bad happening, but
oh, Santa on the spy gets it onto Unknown and gets the backstab. Oh no!
Nobody expects the Bagel spy. Nobody does it. So why would you ever expect it? And they're just shoving into house right now. Maybe just a little angry that their medic died right now. Medic's gonna be walking out. Red medic is gonna be walking out through lower slowly, but it does go down to the traps. So I guess it does work out at the end, going for this aggressive shove, and there's a Demoman fight in the lower, but Lo-Fi does win that. On the other side of things, it's going to be Slater winning the one-on-one with the soldier after Slater is finally taken down.
I mean, if you are on Starman Kick in this situation, that's kind of the best thing you can hope for. You're still counting the clock down. You got to under a minute, 30 seconds worth of time ad, and Value gets in, cleans up the med off of the sticky damage from Mike's. It looks like Starman Kick is really trying to coordinate here, even in times where it should be, the comms are usually dominated by chaos at this level. They seem to be very, very well coordinated. They're not letting it get to them. Marksy trying to pressure a little bit, going forward, trying to do a hit and run with that shortstop there. And they do get the point flipped in their favor. Now, at this point, they're just trying to defend it. They're still ticking down the cap, about 10 seconds worth of ad, 15 now, as the timer continues to tick down in the health for enemy team is not looking good. 3 of them in the red, nobody with bust. Now tracking on 4 HP. Everybody is in the red except for Tadpole. Find Wolfeye goes down. It's going to make trying to fight over this point incredibly difficult. Both teams use their Uber. Bomb coming in from Slater. Ends up jumping away for Woodpack. Jumps in onto Unknown. Isn't able to find the pick, but a scout pitching in from House. Tracking is able to get in through Blue House and find the pick onto Unknown. This gives enemy team the opportunity to recontest the point.
They're just chaosing over and over and over again, and it's just working out for them. You know, just sending one player behind. They're not expecting people to be tracking as much as possible, so they're just constantly running through flanks on the side of enemy team. And they're getting paid for it as well. I mean, if it works, right? I mean, you can't be too mad at the outcome here. So now they're trying to work their way off of this 30 seconds ad, as the rest of blue team is trying to work their way out. They don't have any Uber to play with, and Unknown is already taking down to half HP. They are going to be crushing in return, though. Slater having to go get a mini pack right now, only at 25 HP. Slater, you have a soldier out of the fight. Means they're going to have a lot less pressure on the point right now. And here comes the bomb right now. Lo-Fi does find a really important kill onto the Dome Man, so definitely a lot less pressure. And here comes the exchange. 15 seconds remaining. It means that any kill here is going to be the most valuable thing you can possibly get right now. Mikes and Unknown both dead right now. Scout selling up at the point and Soldier going in high, but they don't have anybody touching in just a second now.
Mystic Liquid is coming in from the blue house and getting some good spam onto the players that are contesting the point. Slater is bombing in, playing on Nipple here, looking to fight Mystic Liquid. A lot of beat though. There's some good damage coming out from the side of, oh my goodness, Mystic Liquid gets Slater. There is a hope for Starman Kick to win this round. If their players can move in and touch the point fast enough, it's Vap and Value going into the point. Santa finds the pick, but unfortunately for Starman Kick, they are not able to mount a strong enough offense to take this round away. The score is all tied up 1-1 for the final match of the RGL season for the amateur grand final on map 1. Looking like it's already going to be a nail biter.
Now the one thing I really want to focus on here is this left house from the side of Starman. It's constantly getting shoved and they're trying to adjust for it. They are having a scout and a soldier immediately play into it instead of trying to reverse house shove of their own. So just really trying to bank on counteracting this shove, and they are able to get some, but again, they're not focusing on the point. Mikes goes down, Value goes down, and that's going to give some more space right now for the rest of enemy team to walk across, and they're just going to get this point for free. They're putting so many eggs in the basket of just protecting this left house that everything else is completely ignored. Nice rocket from Vap, though, is going to take down Santa, so that is one consolation kill and does give him a little bit of space to walk back up here slowly. They do have a scout on it, but he's a bit alone right now, and they can't be too aggressive on this point without all their players. Here comes the bomb, though. Gets a little bit of damage off and is able to get the force. The force is major here as long as Unknown is able to get out of this, but it looks like they're trying to use him in the post. They are down 2 players, so maybe not the best thing in the world, but here comes the Uber. The Scout jugged back a little bit. Might mean that everybody else is able to get out completely safely, and it looks like that's going to be the case.
Oh,
Scout jugged in alone, and this Uber is just going to get absolutely nothing right now. That's kind of what you get for milking it that long and when your Scout get jugged. And Marksby does go down for it at the end too, so that's probably going to be the point getting flipped back in the favor of enemy team right now. And they have control of both of these houses. Here comes the bomb from the soldier onto V right now in lower side. Is not going to win that fight. Oh, so close. They're both just flubbing rockets right now. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, it looks like. Yeah, just exactly that. And Lo-Fi does go down though as well, so not the worst sort of counter aggression that you can hope for on the side of Starman, but still, you have to be very wary of these houses right now if you're just playing this passively after, you know, a mistake or two.
And really what Starman needs at this point is to just regroup on the point. Maintain control of your house. Make sure that you're seeing into their house as well. Get some good spam down onto the point. The Ubers are going to even out here. I think, honestly, enemy team is looking to take an exchange in, and now, especially more than ever, as they find Mystic Liquid in blue house. Just tries to back out, but nothing really works out in their favor, and Unknown actually pops over the point first. They decide to take the initiative on this exchange. Now a bomb coming in from Santa, going in to find the pick onto Unknown. Value finds Lo-Fi, Marksby and Vap going down to Oates and Santa. Now Oates going to be able to find Value as well, as it turns into a sort of salvage situation where Starman Kick tries to find the pick onto Tadpole, but nobody's able to find the pick. Not really a lot of damage coming their way either. So this isn't looking great for the side of Starman Kick. It's not the worst situation that they could possibly be in, but it definitely isn't the best, and they're trying to fight their way yeah, this is just unfortunate value getting thrown into the floor, an unfortunate crater, but this is just unfortunate for the side of Starman Pick right now. Almost down a minute worth of time.
Oh,
Oats going to be rushing down Vap. 5 kill streak here. Oats is going in for the flank onto Unknown. Unknown might bleed to death, but it doesn't matter. Oats is going to gun Unknown down. Oats finally gets taken down. Mike's and Value going to be able to find a pick. Now Value going on to find Lo-Fi. Gets traded out by Santa, but the cap is still ticking down in favor of enemy team. It is a minute worth of time ad now, and they have full Uber ad. This round could not look any better for the side of enemy team. And despite all of that, that's not going to stop Starman Kick from trying to make things happen. And the fear pop from Tadpole. Vap jumps in. Nobody around to save him. And Vap secures the fear pop from Tadpole. Now Unknown, 55% Uber. All they have to do is wait a brief moment, get Mystic Liquid up, and try to send out from, I would say you try and get out through lower here. You try and get in, you maybe take the Uber, maybe bust out through concrete, but there's...
The problem is, though, is that they took Mystic so long to respawn after dying so late that they are just getting out now with only 15 seconds remaining on the clock. And here comes everybody trying to force out the medic. Unknown down to 16 HP, has to pop. Not in the most ideal situation. So pretty much going to be an even fight with one player down right now. And it might just be the easiest recollapse in the world. They are going to find Santa in the post slide. It is a nice little consolation kill on their side right now, but got it right before they capped the point, so that spawn is actually going to be pretty short comparatively, and Value overextending a bit as well means it's going to be even harder to hold this, and this board might just be a little bit impossible. And just like that, Vap does go down. They don't have the support that they need. Mike's taking down to 26 HP is going to be easy pickings for the rest of enemy team, and they're just going to be running across the point. All they really need to do is cap this and hold it for 2 seconds. Here comes the Soldier Bomb, is able to get on it, but immediately dies, and that's going to be a second round for enemy team. The main problem I'm really seeing right now is that StarKick is just spreading their resources either too thin or just really hyper-focusing on one thing. They're either trying to bring everybody up to the point at once and ignoring these houses, or they're really trying to focus on owning the houses and not having anybody on point. They need to find some sort of a specific balance right now to be able to hold both of the houses and pressure the point at the same time without just letting stuff slip through the cracks like it has been.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things that Starman Kick needed to do there when they took that Uber out was find the pick onto Tadpole. They weren't able to do it. And that's one of the situations where you kind of do want to focus down the med. You want to get pick classes, of course, but getting the med down there is going to help you maintain your presence on the point and prevent an easy collapse from coming in. But ignoring that for a brief moment, big bomb from Santa gets a lot of good damage, and no one's really there to stop them. They find Unknown, and that was 4 players down. It's a salvage attempt coming in from Mystic Liquid. Not quite able to find anything. Vap goes in as well, also not able to find anything. Tadpole lives at 100% Uber ad. So this is even better than the previous round where they got out of it with, and Value gets in and finds the force onto Tadpole amidst the chaos. This is massive. This is monumental for Starman Kick right now. It gives them a good opportunity to take a refight onto the point and try to get their timer ticking down.
Now, they aren't building this super aggressively. If they were really smart about it, they could have just built this and tried to take the 20 to 30% Uber out if they were just really hard building right now. But instead, just opting to try to get out through these doorways, and they have made themselves out. They found Slater as a pick, just a little bit of an entry onto point. So they just need to be very careful of this recontestation from Lo-Fi on point right now and just try to get this cow time up. It should be pretty free as long as Unknown doesn't just randomly explode or a huge bomb comes out and nukes Mike's. They are able to counter defend Santa's bomb finally, and this is a breath of fresh air for the side of Starman. They were struggling so hard to be able to find their footing on this point and just doing it with ease this time around. So now actually it's going to be enough for them to actually set up somewhat of a forward hold right now. Not the healthiest in the world, especially if enemy team does choose to go quickly right now, but if they can stabilize this might just lead for them actually being able to equalize this time advantage right now.
Yeah, they do have the opportunity to try and even out the time here. Now, they do have to be wary. They do have to understand that an Uber could come their way very quickly. And Mike's is extremely weak, and I think we're seeing the first pause of the game. Now, I'm not sure what would cause this pause.
It really could be on either side. I mean, it would make more sense if one team went up 3-1 right now, but I don't think it's actually close enough on the timers right now for this to be a round end pause right now. So I'm assuming something technical right now. But
Mhm.
yeah, I just in general with this match, I feel like Starman is finally starting to catch on to what enemy team has been more or less abusing. It's not like they're really playing honest TF2 on the side of enemy team. They're really going for just sellout plays and big flank shoves and trying to take one-on-ones, and it's been working for them. But now Starman is just sort of collecting themselves, and they're able to get a lot more footing right now. So I'm really excited to see what they get for the rest of this round.
Yeah, and like you said, I don't think with the timers that it's close enough to be an end of round pause. Now, it very well could be. It very well could be a moment where there's, only so much time left on the clock, say like 20 seconds or so, and Starman decides to take the pause and try to regroup themselves and get themselves ready for the next push. But with that repause coming through, that definitely makes me think this is some kind of technical pause, some kind of crash. Maybe somebody's internet went out. I mean, there's a whole multitude of things that could force a tech at this point in time, but if we take a moment to just look at the... Oh, never mind. I don't have a moment to look at the situation. It does look like enemy team trying to push out through lower. Tracking goes down and the Ubers come out. It is going to be a handshake in lower yard. Find Lo-Fi gets taken down, and so does Slater. Mystic, Liquid, and Value going to be able to find those picks respectively. That's 2 players down and the Uber out of the equation for the side of enemy team, and they are coming up with Santa
on Sniper has
Sniper.
This... Oh, he had the demo pin, but the demo chooses to jump away. Bike's super low, but is able to get away from that sight line right now. So do you know about the Sniper at this point? And honestly, Sniper on Bagel is not the best thing because that leaves Lobby pretty open to shove right now. And we'll have to see if Starman chooses to recognize that right now instead of just trying to do anything about it. Value does go down though from a body shot and the scatter gun right now, so it's going to be free leeway right now for the rest of enemy team to try to make their way up through lower side right now, and they're going to do just that. So much free space right now. The only thing they have to worry about is a soldier being in a house or bombing them right now, but doesn't look like it. Both soldiers backing up right now, not the healthiest in the world, and they have to grab packs and bows, so free point flip over for enemy team and trying to get this point down a little bit closer to that 1 minute mark, just trying to even it out slowly. And you can see that they're not going for anything crazy right now. They're just trying to take this house control, trying to lock down this these doorways with the demo man right now. Sniper's still chilling in lower is going to mean that there's going to be a lot less pressure, and the problem with that is that there is a soldier behind. 2 scouts chasing him, but a nice rocket from Fab. 180 flick is able to find it onto the Sniper, gets 2 for it. Maybe even more, not anymore, but the scout shoving through left house does get cleaned up too, so 2 for 2 now, maybe a little bit of an overextend from Marksby, but still very, very nice shove from Fab, recognizing that they are on Sniper, they don't have people to hold it down. And here comes the Uber right now from Tadpole. Unknown, doesn't have any Uber to play with it as it fades, but we'll have to see what the picks look like. Oatsman is able to find a really early pick. A little scout duel going on in concrete right now, but here comes the soldier bomb onto the medic. Alone in house right now. Isn't clean enough. It's later. Finally traded out right now, and Tadpole is just free to do whatever they want right now. There's really nothing that can go behind right now because they're spotting everything. They're so far back on point, and they have all the freedom to do so.
Yeah, enemy team has a lot of leeway now, especially after finding that pick. Oh! Oh my goodness! Oatsman saves Tadpole, the skin of his teeth. Tadpole hangs on to life, gone down to 12 HP. A nice bomb attempt from Bap, but there is no kill conversion onto Tadpole. Tracking tries to pressure out from, I believe, Blue House here, but gets taken down. Value flips the point. Now, enemy team is down a player. They're probably going to play a little bit further back. They do decide to take this Uber in, actually, and Unknown doesn't have an Uber of their own. Lo-Fi is able to bomb in and get the pick. Now Mystic Liquid going down as well. Value dying as Oats is on a 9 kill streak. Now 10. Oh my goodness, this man can't be stopped.
And Oatsman has nobody to heal right now, so that's actually going to be Uber ad now for Tadpole on top of being able to really set up a forward hold right now. They didn't lose any players in that, so they have all of their explosives here getting fully buffed right now. They can rotate and grab a little bit of a demo buff too. Make sure that everything is just all stabilized right now.
Yeah, they need to make sure everything is set up properly. They need to stabilize. They need to try and make sure
Fury Pyro.
They're coordinated. What in the world is this tech? Marks me on the Dragon's Fury Pyro, and they try and pressure out. They find tracking, not Marksby in particular, but that is just a pick they have on the board. Unknown dies for this though. Now Vap, 3 players down. Lo-Fi on a 3 kill streak. Interesting decision to run the Dragon's Fury Pyro while trying to bust out. I'm not sure if maybe they had the wrong flamethrower equipped, maybe they were trying to get out and use the air blast to force them off of concrete. But regardless of what the decision was, it looks like enemy team going to save their Uber to use on top of the point, prevent any more cap time from coming in, and they will net themselves the third round, or I guess they will net themselves the fourth round, but the third round win for enemy team as we move on to match point for map 1 of Amateur Grand Finals.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking really, really good right now for enemy team. Just their rash aggression right now has just been working out over and over again. They're not going for this right house shove anymore. Instead, just trying to put a lot more pressure onto the point right now. Really trying to get Lo-Fi to walk across right now, and it seems to be working out for them.
Vap tries to bomb across, takes a lot of damage, has to run away, go for the wood pack. Now, at this point, there's really not a lot of damage coming out from either team. Okay, as soon as I say that, find Lo-Fi gets launched up into the stratosphere. A nice arrow from Tadpole, though. Uber ready for the side of enemy team. Now it's going to be Oatsman going down. Tadpole wants to hold on to this Uber. They're backing away. They don't want to use yet. Unknown is also going to get their Uber online. They also have player ad. So they're probably going to be able to, if they play this quick enough, they might be able to set up a forward hold as they take down Santa. Good bomb from Vap to notice that Santa is playing just a little too far forward. Tracking, playing a little aggressive in main. Probably could have been pinched there, but I understand the hesitation from Starman Kick. You don't want to get too greedy. So now at this point, this is the prime opportunity to try and set up some kind of forward hold. You've got a good position. Looks like, however, enemy team going to be coming in through main. Uber gets used, and so too does it get used from Starman Kick. They direct their attention toward lower. Uber handshake in lower. They flash their demo. Mikes gets saved at the very tail end of that fight. Oats goes down, and so does Vap. Tracking finds that pick, and Value finds Oats. One player down for each team. Mikes could go down at any second here. Very weak. Tadpole goes down. Value's in. Value finds Santa as well as Tadpole. That's a 2K for Value there, and a very big one at that. Unknown dies, though. Tracking is able to thread the needle and get in and find the pick onto the beam. Marks V is in. Value, or I should say Marks V finds Lo-Fi, and that is the end of that fight. Unfortunately for Starman Kick, they lose their med, but they're at 1.5 minutes worth of time ad, and they are gonna have to try and recover from 30% Uber disad, which is terrible.
It's pretty scary of them playing this far forward right now, especially with their medics still just rolling out right now. They're gonna lose 2 for it. A little bit of a miscalculation. You know, you really need to make sure that you can meet up with your heals and just play back towards your side of the point if you really do still want to contest mid after this. And that's going to be, you know, Uber disad and them shoved all the way out. So free forward hold now for the side of enemy team is going to allow them to have a commanding hand on this match now. Now, the nice thing is, with all that chaos was Starman had the point captured the entire time, so they're already down to 1 minute and 13. So there's a little bit of work to be done for the rest of enemy team, and if, you know, they're able to get a sort of 4-man sack going on the side of Starman, it's really not impossible for them to actually get their way back to the round right now.
I do want to point out that Marksy is going in with the Prinny Machete on Spy, and now has to try and blend in with the team. Gets the backstab onto Tracking. That's a nice pick to have. That does make it essentially a 5v5. Uber comes out from the side of enemy team, but they find nothing with it. It could be Santa dying on wood, but they will survive, and we see the second pause of the game. Now, I did see in chat earlier that the reason for the first pause was that Santa timed out. So they had to let him back in. And I'm wondering if this is a similar situation where Santa has lagged out, or somebody has lagged out, or maybe this time it really is a tack pause. I mean, given the time, it could work. If enemy team were to lose this fight here, everyone on Starman could get on the point, they could flip it, and they could win within the time it would take to for us to see a end of round tack pause. But it's really just speculation.
You know what I want to see that might actually just lead to that? It's a Spy going in right now onto the medic. It's 1 butter knife, 2 butter knife, Tadpole down to 20 HP, and does actually get the kill. So that might just be exactly what we're looking for Starman to work their way back onto the point right now. Is this a goofy little Spy pistol play? Even on the Lotron J is able to get the medic down.
I mean, you never want to mess with a spy who has his gun out. Even with the L'étranger, it still does a billion damage if the guy can aim. It has bullets, man. He's not just a melee class, but big bomb coming in from Santa. Not quite able to find him. He finds the pick onto unknown. It's a med for med trade. One down from Spy, one down from a soldier, and now it looks like Starman Kick has to continue holding on to this point. About 40 seconds left on the clock here, but they wipe on the point, trying to hold. But enemy team has to maintain control of this point for 2 entire minutes. 2 whole minutes. They have to maintain control of this point.
On the Spy again. Very interesting loadout. I believe it's Cloak and Dagger, L'étranger, and Stock Knife. So, trying to work their way in slowly right now, but honestly, slowly on Koth might not be the name of the game right now. I would think it might be a little bit better to go on Viswatch, and Marksby is standing on 3 on det 6 right now. So if the demo shoots a few more stickies right now, might just immediately get revealed, or if the right click is pressed one time, Maxby is just dead. Here comes the pause though, that's exactly where it was. We'll have to see exactly what that was. I assume for some sort of a disconnect problem right now, but so much time being chipped off for the side of enemy team right now, and they're going to be Ubering into house right now. They spot a lot of players close, and they're just going to be taking it. Mike's goes down, and they're chasing into spawn all the way. Not able to find the medic.
Unknown gets out
right now. And Slater going a little bit too deep. A little bit too deep.
Yeah, Slater just got a little too greedy there.
Spy is spotted. One
fight between Vap and Santa in lower. Santa wins that fight. Marksby and Vap are down, and now now Santa on Soldier is behind. They do send a Mystic Liquid back to try and be some kind of deterrent, but it doesn't work out too well. Has to jump away. They do manage to mop up the pick, and now the force comes out from the side of Starman Kick. They fear pop from the scout that's in their face, and now they're taking it deep into lobby. They're trying to hunt down Tadpole. They're not able to get in deep enough, but Value is sending it all the way home. Value finds the pick onto Tadpole. Marksby finds Slater. Value goes down, but not before they find great value from Netbush. Marksby in red lower, wrapping from their lobby, trying to pinch on whoever they can. Now on concrete, probably gonna get taken down here, but it is time, massive time ad for the side of Starman Kick. They just need to regroup and play for picks. Santa goes down on the point. They could very easily get good spam from a house and recap this point. It's overtime for them. They only have to do it once. Mystic Liquid finds Slater in left house. It's a 2v1 in the left house. Mystic Liquid goes down, but that means 2 players are out of position at this point. 2 players down for Starman Kick. 2 players down for the side of enemy team. Big bomb! Marksby and Vap! It's nuclear! Vap finds Tadpole and Lo-Fi, and that is the 5th round gone in favor of Starman Kick. It's 2-3, and the match continues on.
Man, what a chaotic ending to that round. I mean, it was chaotic, but it also seems somewhat coordinated at the same time. They're taking these fights together. Nobody's really taking 1v1s at this point in the game, at least, so that is very nice to see. But man, was that tight margins right there for that last round. Now we'll have to see what these mids are looking like. Both teams have adjusted to each other, and Marksby is going to get that pick in left house, and instead of trying to shove it this time around, just sort of retreat back to their side, getting healthy, getting re-healed up, and they're going to be working with that player ad, hopefully just trying to get some presence on the point right now. They have a bunch of 6 on the ground, but they have players healthy right now, so it might just be free time for blue team to walk up to the point right now. Mike's getting spammed away though, and Lo-Fi taking a lot of presence here on point and getting so much damage because of it right now, so they're actually going to get their player back just for free on the side of enemy team, but Fine Lo-Fi finally, with all of that massive damage, is able to get it, and here comes the aggressive Uber exchange. It is slightly better for them as they do have a pick to work with, but tracking goes down means that the Uber is actually going to be way worse right now. So probably free point pressure right now as long as they don't need a bunch of damage to this post. But one scout solo on point is just dodging and weaving through all of these rockets right now. Somehow taking very little is Marksby right now, and a nice pick from Mystic, traded back immediately by Slater. So a lot of point cap right now, and they are able to cap it. They're going to be not denying anybody because it is first cap, but Marksby does die, and it's going to be a 14-second respawn right now.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see, but it is completely manageable. A lot of the players on the side of enemy team have very low health. Value is kind of caught between a rock and a hard place here. Nice arrow from Unknown to bring Value up to par for health. Santa peeking in from the red house, trying to get some good spam. Slater goes down. Mystic Liquid going to be able to find that pick, and now find Lo-Fi thrown up into the air, juggled a little bit, takes a good chunk of damage. This is a bomb coming in from Santa, but gets denied immediately. One good rocket onto Unknown, but one rocket is not enough. Uber comes out from the side of enemy team. They run across the point, and now the counter comes out from the side of Starman Kick, and they're not actually able to find any picks with that Uber, but they do force the enemy team away from the point, at least for the time being. They have 20 seconds worth of cap time to play with here, and that could grow. Vap goes down, but not before finding tracking. Oats finds that pick, and they continue to hold on to the point. Oats is very weak behind it. Santa goes down. Marksy finds that pick and opens up a good window for Starman Kick to reaggress onto the point pretty much as soon as it flips for the side of enemy team. It flips over. That's a lot of damage coming out from Find Lo-Fi, though, able to find Value. And now one player down for the side of Starman Kick, and it looks like they want to push over this point. Tadpole almost has Uber. Now has Uber. The Uber is in play. It's part of the equation, but Unknown also is right there knocking on the door of having that Uber. The point flips yet again. 151 left on the clock for Starman Kick, and at this point it's gonna get a little bit slower. It'll stay on there ever so slightly. Vap goes down, and now that kind of squashes any hope that Starman Kick has of getting super aggressive.
But they take the Uber through left house right now, just trying to catch out anything that they possibly can right now, but it's going to leave everybody on their side a little bit drained right now. Mike goes down with no support whatsoever. And here comes the post collapse right now. 2 rockets from Santa, a reloaded one does shoot the scout, is not able to find any damage on the medic, but the bomb. It doesn't seem like they're going to find too much, but the nice plays from Lo-Fi using the most broken weapon in the game that hopefully will be banned this season. Is able to find Unknown. And I believe a soldier on top of it as well, so just complete value picks right now, and now it's kind of just up for the rest of everybody else that's still in to either get in and die or retreat and meet up with their medic, and they're sort of choosing something in the middle right now, which is not the best idea, as they're just going to be eating damage and making it harder for them to take this fight afterwards. They are running across right now, just trying to pressure as much as they can, but it's actually working out for them. They find Oatsman, and Tadpole taking out a fire HP is going to get dogged down by 2 scouts. They just don't have the support that they need. Too many players hiding in houses and not supporting their combo, but here comes the bomb right now. Is able to trade out for Unknown right now. They do get cleaned up in the end, but medic for medic right now, with Tadpole having a slight advantage and healing someone immediately out of spawn right now. So probably going to be a pretty easy point flip, as the spawns for Starman are going to be so much longer as they have that point captured.
Yeah, and that was very well played from the side of Starman Kick. Unfortunately, they weren't able to keep their med alive, but it shouldn't affect them too much. The Uber will come into play regardless of what happens here. There is no doubt in my mind about it. But 50 seconds left on the clock for the side of Starman Kick. Slowly ticking down even just a little bit more. They could get it down to 45 seconds. And Find Lo-Fi goes down. Marks be able to find that pick. Gets traded out by Oats here. And now Bomb coming in from Vap. Gets in, does a lot of good damage, but it's not enough. Does half of the med's HP, but that's not enough to net the kill. Unknown needs some damage from Red House as well, but at this point, there's really nothing that Starman Kick can do aside from regroup, get ready to take a fight, and most importantly, get this Uber online fast. Enemy team has their Uber up and ready, and I don't think they're afraid to use it over the point if they have to. It does look like Tadpole, excuse me, is eating a lot of spam over the point. The Ubers will come out. The force coming in from Tadpole, or I shouldn't say the force, but the exchange coming in from Tadpole. They lose their target for a little while, but Marksy and Vap are both dead. Oats and Slater find those kills. Mike's is very weak, trying to put some pressure onto the point. Now, enemy team under a minute left on their cap, and they're in a very nice position. So I believe this is Santa, who's in behind and gets the pick onto Unknown.
Major pick.
This is massive for the side of enemy team, because when you're sitting in the position they are now, you're up around. If you win this one, you win the map. All you have to do is clinch out the next one. And they have 30 seconds left. They have slowly creeped their way into a slight time advantage. And if you are Starman Kick, You are running out of options. You are running out of time to mess around. The Pyro, the thermal thruster Pyro
We're
comes
just
out,
trying
tries
anything.
to go over the point and gets instantly denied by the scouts. Messes up the second jump, but is on an actual flamethrower this time on the Napalmer. Unknown goes down, so now they have no heals. All damage is permanent. Thap goes down. Marks V is weak. Mike is on 2 HP. Mystic Liquid is on 64 value. And now taken down. Mystic Liquid is the last man standing that can probably touch the point at this point. Mystic Liquid inside the house gets immediately taken down by tracking, and map 1 is won by the enemy team, making them series leaders for this best of 3 1-0, and they are looking to take home the win on the next map.
I hope you guys know that I'm actively shaking my head in disagreement from what I saw with a Pyro coming out for their last ditch effort. What are we doing, man? Are we supposed to have like competitive integrity or something? Like, come on, guys, get it together.
I mean, you know what? If you're down like that, I mean, you know what? Actually, no. I would say if you're down like that, then you could do a little bit of trolling, but that's like if it's a scrim. This is your grand final
We're in
match. This
grand
is your
finals,
first
Zeki.
map. You gotta, I mean, I understand pulling out all the stops. Trust me, I do.
That isn't a
Maybe they
stop that you pull
practiced
out,
it.
though. That isn't one that you
Maybe,
pull out.
maybe if they've practiced it, you know, maybe we're not familiar. Maybe we're not familiar with their
Yeah,
practice
that's what it is.
regimen.
That's what it
That's
is.
true. We're not familiar with what they do. So maybe they have practiced the pyro onto concrete. Maybe it's the idea of air blasting the players off of concrete, giving them a much easier bust out, forcing those players away, and then if they decide to use Uber, they're in a little bit more of an awkward position to push in. But enough speculating about the pyro gameplay. We have logs for this first map. 36 minutes of King of the Hill, filtering by kills. Oats.
Holy
Oh
Oatsman.
my good
Dropping
golly
a 50 bomb
gosh.
on their forehead. I mean, not getting the highest damage in the game, but he was dropping like super high kills, just chasing down players, cleaning up the damage, and protecting his medic. And you can really just see in the med deaths as well just how much that actually mattered. 19 med deaths for Unknown and 11 med deaths for Tadpole. So, it's kind of what you're hoping for right now is just exactly that when you're playing Pocket Scout. It's just to sort of be cleaning up right now and your team dishing out the damage. And Lo-Fi dropping 348 DPM is exactly the damage that you needed. Lo-Fi was nuclear on that point, and they really did not have a response to it. Generally, it was not the lock and load that was procuring most of the damage. It was just well-placed sticks and really just trying to keep people off of points. They had such pressure in both sides of the houses that it just left so much space for Lo-Fi to just walk onto point, get a nice 150 damage from a sticky det, and then they're just cleaning up from there or just holding them off. There was so many times right there where all of Starman is just cowering in fear, trying to get rehealed and not able to get much from it afterwards as well. They just have such disadvantage to work with all of these houses just being immediately held.
And if we filter it by DPM, value up there with, I believe, oh, my logs are breaking. Hold on, let me refresh the page.
Yeah, it looks like Vab also went big too,
Oh my
actually.
goodness, yeah. Santa up there with 362. Value at the top of the logs, though, 384. Vap with 324. Mystic Liquid with 329. The only person, actually, there's two people in the 290s. It's Tracking and Slater, and everybody else except for Mike's and Marksv is relatively close to 300 DPM.
That's Bagel for you.
I mean, that is how Bagel will play out, especially when you've got the two best teams in open at the helm here. I mean, it's the grand final. These teams are here for a reason. I expected nothing less than numbers like this, but I didn't quite expect almost 400 DPM bomb from Value, nor did I think I would see a 50 kill bomb from Oats. But here we are, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean it works out in the end for them, so but that great way to start, honestly. I always love starting a Bagel, and a lot of teams will choose to do this as well because they're both so confident in their DM they'll just be like, you know what, we are the better team just in terms of shooting people. Let's just run Bagel, win our fights. But then you start to realize during Bagel that man, there is a lot more coordination that does go into it, and a lot more of the nitty gritty details. So it'll be interesting to see. We are going to Gullywash now. A little bit of a slower map, but also can be a really mid to last with just how small the map is. So we'll really have to see what the pace is if the mids are going to be immediately solved, if there's going to be a lot of pressure onto the med trying to walk up into elbow. If there's a lot of damage coming out, that means that one team is probably just going to be able to walk across for free and just mulch the other team. So it's up to preparation and really having quick wit on these mids. Otherwise, you're just going to get completely steamrolled. That is the curse of Gullywash.
This is true. This is true. Now, moving on to Snakewater, is there anything in particular you're looking for? Maybe something you're hoping to see that these guys throw out there? Maybe there's some tech that you know is incredibly important to know about Gubby Wash, but teams tend to not implement it or something like that. Or is there anything on your mind off the dome that you think needs to be implemented in this game, if not for the sake of winning it, for the sake of it being grand finals and showing off the tech?
There is two very important things, and this is pretty often done at higher levels. Is just well, one to start is obviously how teams used to play around the ground and drop down on mids. Can really make or break mids, especially if you know that you have to keep track of lower and stuff like that. Means that you're not going to have nearly enough pressure on height to be able to walk across as easily as possible. Um, so that's definitely a factor. Other factor I would definitely say is going into second, the aggressing team choosing to actually go for sort of lobby shoves instead of sort of single stacks of chokes and stuff like that usually works out a lot better, as it's more of a pressure cooker, is just trying to work your way through big door, not die to traps, get a few players behind in lobby, and just put them in a bad spot on second point right now. So I would love to see whichever one of these teams has that sort of solved right now. Um,
Mhm.
or if they have something different cooked up. I mean, I've seen it work before where you're just sacking people and just they're speed shotting through big door, jumping through choke wide out to rock, and then getting pressure done that way. But I think those are two important things that you can try to adjust or develop if you have a really confident goalie wash. Just obviously depends on how much they've reviewed, how practiced they are, and how many like times they've really scrimmed this and tried to get these strategies down. So every team does have a slightly different way of approaching goalie wash. That is sort of the beauty of this map and why it's been such a long stay in our map pool just in general. So just really curious to see what we have cooked up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very, very interesting matchup here. And Gully Wash of all maps, I feel like we don't get to see it all that often outside of the higher levels. I mean, that could just be a little bit more influenced by us not being able to do a lot of open coverage recently. We have been seeing a lot more of the higher levels, but I feel like in my experience, outside of the weekly matches, it feels like teams tend to avoid Gully a little bit more than they do in higher levels. And I mean, it's not like they avoid it way more. I mean, it's not like they don't understand it or something. I'm not sure what causes it, but we see a lot more. It's kind of how open teams will usually. This is also something that's a little bit different about these grand finals, is that the first map was a Koth map. Usually something you see as a decider. And you usually see Gully Washed as either the first map where it's like, all right, let's just get this one out of the way, or you end up seeing that one as a decider as well if it's a full 5CP series. But I mean, seeing it in the second map here does bring me great joy. I am excited to see what these teams are going to do on this map.
We'll have to see right now. I mean, we have six and probably just trying to figure some stuff out just in terms of game plan right now. I don't think they're really missing anybody necessarily. But it's a very different adjustment when you start off with Koth going to 5CP, right? When you go into 5CP and you start off your series like that, it's a lot easier just to, really work on the specific game plans and be like, all right, we have this mid that we've talked about beforehand, we have this second that we talked about beforehand. If you're going from, Bagel or product or something like that into a Koth map, into a 5CP map, excuse me, um, you really have to change exactly what you're planning on doing and just what the general philosophy of how your team is going to play. So yeah, just waiting for people to ready up right now. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what Gullywash is. It's a coin flip right now. I feel like the prediction for the Gullywash should actually be: are we seeing a mid to last in the first round, or are we seeing a stalemate on the first mid? Right, like That's
Yeah.
kind of just the story of this map in general.
Well, speaking of predictions, I probably should have mentioned this a little bit earlier, but Twitch channel predictions are live. So if you have channel points you haven't predicted yet, you only have a few more seconds to get the prediction underway, unless they take a little bit longer than the prediction is. And maybe if you guys ask nicely enough, our producer will rerun the predictions. No promises. Maybe. You guys have to ask very nicely,
Who's to
very
say? Who's
politely.
to say?
Yeah, I'm just the messenger here. But if you want to gamble, get some of those points. Well, I mean, I'm saying this now. There's 3 seconds left, and that prediction is about to close. So if you missed the gambling, you had 5 minutes to do it. So that's on you. That's on you. You weren't paying attention. You didn't get your gamble in. You don't get to gamble.
It's
You're
more
not going to profit
for me, baby.
Exactly. I say that as if I put any money in. I didn't put anything in. I did absolutely nothing. I didn't gamble anything at all. I've got a hefty amount of channel points. I'm saving it for another random match next season where I just throw all 50,000 of them on a random team and close the stream, and then I come back to see if I profited or not.
Dude, that's why I have like 9K channel points right now. I don't want to talk about it. I should have so. But apparently I'm just bad at gambling. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I also just bet on the friend teams that I know, and then they always disappoint me. It's my curse, I
Yeah.
guess.
I mean, I've got here. Let me see the exact number of channel points I have. I have 47,692.
Oh, now we're just
points.
flexing. Now we're just flexing.
Well, I think Lacey put their exact number in the chat as well. They got 50,964 if that's their channel point number. So I mean, it's not really flexing, I don't have the highest channel point number. The person with the highest amount of channel points that I know now is Lacey. I don't think I know anybody with a higher amount of channel points than them. So maybe they're just a really good gambler. Maybe
there's some lurker out there who's just stacking their card right now.
Just like 7 billion points on one account.
He's literally just on Sportsbook Casino right now, just raking it in.
They're on FanDuel. But we are going live for the first round of Gullywash. Could be the final map of the series if Starman Kick doesn't play it right. We move on to a different config, technically a different game, really. Vap goes in for the high bomb, gets taken out very quickly. Santa and Oats are on lock, but Oats and Tracking try and pressure forward over the point. That's a 2-for-1 deal. Find Lo-Fi goes down. Markspeed with the first 3 kills of the game, but big bomb from Santa over the point. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's home. The lights are off, and they find the pick onto Unknown. So that is going to give enemy team full Uber ad. Now, if they're going to do something with it, I am not sure. I probably would hold just for a second, let your players get up, and then I would take it. They are going to cap second, though, no matter what enemy team decides to do.
Here comes the enemy team, though. They are going to be going through River, which is exactly what you want to be doing if you have your med lift, right? It's a pretty free avenue to refight second if they don't have any Uber or any sort of helo damage against you. So, second flip back, and now full Uber ad to play with. So, it's not like it didn't really matter if they cap second at all. And already bringing their combo at the big door. Problem is that Oatsman is going to die, so the Uber is not going to have a scout with them. They're going to be bombing their explosives forward, looking for more. Full Scout's dead right now. 2 kills even back, but it's not exactly what you want to see for an Uber. And here comes the Scout back in on point already. Taking a little 1v1 with the Soldier, but it's going to be a little scary right now. He's going to back up, but now here comes the Beam as well. With 75% Uber ad on the side of Unknown. Soldier bombing in right now, looking for the force of this medic.
Oh!
And he's able to get it. The Scouts aren't able to clean him up nearly fast enough. Oatsman coming in for the cleanup as well. And Tadpole is nowhere to be found. He's all the way out to second right now. No harm at all has come to him, so exactly what you want to see. And that is the problem with just dropping a scout in that Uber. You really can't chase that deep. And the refight coming through just means that, you lose your medic, and it's pretty easy to get rolled from here. Second should be mostly
it's very easy to get rolled here. Tracking moves through the choke, lands on the ramp here, and just a little bit of height control goes a long way. Marksby is forced to retreat out through Baby Door, and now Starman Kick has to set up on their own last, and they're at big Uber disad right now. Vap goes in, trades out with Slater. Oats is able to mop up that kill. I believe we have Mystic Liquid inside of lobby, playing toward Launchpad now as they back away, trying to get some damage out through River. It's just Lo-Fi and Tadpole. Now with Oats joining them, the Uber comes out. Their damage already getting directed toward the top of the spawn here, but that is a lot of damage coming out toward the point. Players are dying left and right on the side of Starman Kick, and their attention is just too divided. Players are not where they need to be. They didn't have time to set up a proper last defense, and they lose the first round in only 3 minutes. So I guess it wasn't exactly a mid to last roll like we had thought it would be, but that is still definitely a very, very dominant first round win from enemy team.
Yeah, great conversion just from the mid win that they had overall. I mean, to bring an Uber like from a mid win into last on the map. So we'll have to see what this mid looks like again. I mean, it did look like very good for a while now, especially with Slater going down now. They don't have the soldier to really bomb in and force this medic or anything. One soldier is on.
They only need right one player to chase across though. They just take too long. They take too long to get someone in on that chase. All they needed was a soldier to jump up onto Nipple and start getting some good spam down, but they weren't able to do that. And now, instead of getting what were pretty much 3 guaranteed picks, including Tadpole, they walk away only finding Santa, who's still in the respawn queue, and mid. They now have to work around pushing into second on even Ubers. They've got to try and work a sack in from somewhere, but I mean, that was just an unfortunate set of circumstances. They didn't realize that they had the opportunity to pressure through and get a bunch of free picks, potentially mid to last there.
Oh man, but now sort of even Ubers right now, we'll have to see if that plan that I was talking about prior is what they choose to do, or if they're just trying to really work through choke right now on the side of Starman. A little bit of a spam coming up, but nothing really definitive in terms of a plan yet. They're just sort of trying to pressure through both of these doorways, seeing if they can get anything, but man, that is a tragedy. They lose 3 for a scout and 2 soldiers. It's going to mean that mid is completely free for the side of the enemy team right now, and they're going to take it for free right now.
Slater's going baby door.
I love
Slater
it.
is in behind, in on the scout, gets spotted out early and taken down.
Yeah, a little bit too quick on that.
Yeah, a little too quick. Could have probably waited. I think ratting there might be a good option, but both Ubers do come out. The exchange coming in. A lot of flashing happening on the side of enemy team, and now it looks like that Uber gets taken away, and the enemy team loses Santa for it. They do not lose anybody else. Actually, I lied to you just now. They lose tracking as Value chases them down through choke. So now it looks like it's going to be even Ubers yet again. And if I was on Starman Kick, I would be trying to push out right now, especially off of that Slater pick. And you have your player spawning forward. You know they're not going to be on the point defending it. These stickies somehow don't get cleared. I don't know if the scout just didn't see them or the soldier never called them, but thankfully nobody falls victim to it. And Starman Kick manages to claw their way back to mid.
And they're going to get it pretty dominantly right now. Back to even Ubers right now, so both teams are exactly the same percentage pretty much here. We'll have to see what the plan is now for Starman. They've sort of fumbled this really hard last time and lost 3 for their efforts. They need to have some sort of a solid plan instead of just trying to get through these doorways, because these are tight and closed spaces that you're trying to pressure through, and it is so easy just to die to rockets right now. Really trying to bring the heels close, but they have a soldier come through right now behind Rock. They're trying to send more through choke right now. Very scary with their man choke, and the man does have to force the Uber. So much red HP for the side of Starman. This is exactly what you don't want to see. And here comes the Uber from Tadpole.
Chasing deep, doesn't find the player in River that he's looking for. Value taking the 1v1 with Oats here. Tadpole goes down, so does Lo-Fi, and now Slater has to win the fight in lobby. Wins against Value, but gets taken down by Value.
So it's going to be even Ubers. I don't think anybody can really go to last off this. With just 2 soldiers up, you're going to be walking into spawners, but here comes the immediate refight though. Unknown or enemy team, I mean, does not want to give anything up here, and so they're fighting, but there's still a contestation going on right now. One soldier behind point just fighting, super low HP, and they have the rest of the combat players trickling out. Med through lobby for enemy team right now means that they have a lot more heal advantage, a lot more healthy players. 1-for-1 trade right now. Mystic Liquid and Oats been both down, but one scout's still in on the high right now. It's actually just a 9 point. They're not looking at him.
Value just took out Tadpole, had a great flank play. I'm not sure where they were able to, you know, slip their way in from, but Value just took down Tadpole. Unknown is going to get full Uber ad pushing in to enemy teams last. We could very easily see this game's rounds get tied up at 1-1 within the first 8, possibly 9, maybe 10 minutes. Well, maybe not 10 minutes. That might be a little too long. Ubers are definitely going to even out by then. But we could see... Oh, Value is up on Pyro, interestingly enough. Santa goes down, though. Nonetheless, Marksy able to mop up that damage. Interesting decision to come up on the Pyro here. Maybe this is new tech that we were talking about before the game. Looks like they're getting ready to push out through Locker. They jump through. Sentry is going to get taken down a little late compared to, you know, the optimal time. Slater in water, taking the fight with Marksy. Will most likely win this, but his attention is divided. Value going into Secret after taking the attention away from Slater. Uber gets popped on top of the point. It's just Mystic Liquid and Value alive. Value caught inside of Secret, and Mystic Liquid just trying to find whatever he can. Is caught behind the pillar. Yeah, there's just absolutely nothing you can do right there, so... Yeah, that was interesting, to say the least. It didn't look like they had the wrong idea. They tried to get some cap time on, but they just didn't coordinate together. They didn't fight for that point as a team. It was kind of like half their team wanted to go for the cap time, and half the team wanted to fight the top right. So just a little disjointed there, and that cost them the round.
Yeah, they had a little... It looked pretty good there for a minute, but if you're not able to shoot that heavy in the post and you don't have a lot of point pressure, then it's just immediately chopped from there. They're going back to this choke pressure now. I'm not sure if I like it. It barely worked out from in the past, and it was just because of some late bombs. So we'll have to see what the plan is now. I think it's just going to be with them running it back to the side of STARMAN. Maybe it'll work out for them. Maybe they just get forced and they die in the choke. Who's really to say?
Yeah, I mean it's up in the air at this point. There's no telling what is going to happen now. I do want to point out there are stickies in the pallet in Big Door, just in front of Baby Door. So if somebody tries to go for some kind of flank, they could fall victim to the pallet traps. Doesn't look like they're going to try and send anybody through Big Door here. Actually, the Ubers are getting used inside of the choke. Bap and Mike's both go down. Value going to take this Uber in. Actually, no, I'm lying completely. There is nobody in that Uber. I thought Value was there, but apparently not. Mystic Liquid is going in, though. Is going to be able to find Oats and Lo-Fi. This does even
the player count
out. Mystic Liquid finds Tadpole. Santa trades it out, but it doesn't matter. Marks be able to find Santa as well. Now, there is a scout above the choke. Tracking is hiding above the choke, looking to drop down. I think he's going to get spotted here pretty soon. Jumps in onto the point. Misses again. It's non-stop. Misses, but the soldier bomb against Slater looking for the pick on Unknown. Marksy finds the 3K and protects Unknown with all of his might. Now, Slater and Tracking both down. Sentry taken down very early on. This could be the round converted. A lot of cap time coming out. It's right there. One little nudge for the cap time could do it. 3 players down for the side of the enemy team. There's a lot of damage coming through as the explosives collapse onto the point. 2 players alive for the side of STARMAN kick, and they managed to flub the push a second time.
Unknown's got to run here. If Unknown gets out with this Uber, it's actually going to be major right now, but there is a shark in the water right now. Actually, Lo-Fi not healthy enough to bomb, so they now actually still have this Uber head to play with. Let's see if they're able to do anything with it. They can just take this quickly through Baby Door, or just immediately fight on second. They're going in through Big Door, immediately tanking Value through right now, and I love to see it, just the aggression. Slater does find a pick back, but there's still a full Uber head you have to worry about right now, and 2 players on red HP right now. They're still trying to fight in the lobby. If they just pop this right now, it could be nuclear, but they actually drop Value in it, losing so much of this advantage that they have right now. It's going to mean that there's going to be more time for Tadpole to actually probably build up an Uber at this point. I would have rather seen them just take something way aggressive right now. They know that they have full Uber advantage on the enemy team right now. Now on blast, Tadpole is going to go down to Marksby. They're going to be selling up for it. I mean, if you're going to not be able to take this Uber immediately, might as well just kill the medic and assure that you're in. Scout in right now. Unknown in trouble, but does force the Uber on. They're going to be running through main with 2 scouts. Only 1 person on last. It's a soldier, and he's going to be jumping from river way too late.
After a couple failed pushes, they managed to find their way into last. Granted, it was a little bit of a chaotic push, but a round win is a round win nonetheless. It doesn't really matter how you get it. as long as you know you're not dropping 5 players and it's your med capping the point, or it's something horrendous like that. But a round one is a round when the score is all tied up 1-1 on the potentially final map if enemy team is able to clinch the win. And again, this is the Amateur Grand Finals. Vap goes down very early on. Find Lo-Fi able to get some good damage on the point very early on.
Slater jumping
in
don't hate it.
full HP. Yeah, and they're gone. They don't want to stay in. They don't want to risk, dropping anyone else. It's not like their health was egregiously terrible, but
you lose a pick that early though. When you lose a pick that early though, it's so hard to get anything going. So just choosing to stay second is going to be such a safe.
Santa is in river. Santa is going to be going for the bomb. Is spotted very early on though. Nice rocket onto unknown, but one rocket is not enough to get the force with the medic's entire family right there, right in front of them. So
there are traps above choke right now. We'll see if they're spotted.
They're going drop down. Okay, I
like this. This would be something
this.
that you usually do if you have some sort of an Uber ad right now, but most of them might just be trying for an exchange or anything like that. They are going to pop it, forcing out the exchange. It is going to be a single scout in it, but on the back end of things, they're just leaving all their combat players alone, tracking and Lo-Fi find 2 picks. So picks are going to be better in this post right now. Only going to be a Vap and Value alive, and they're both not healthy, and they're just caught in the corner right now in the worst spot you could possibly be as a medic. Unknown down, and I just don't know if that's really the call to go for a sort of a single scout exchange when you're just leaving so much of your team out to dry, just losing their fights immediately. And now Unknown team in a commanding position to go for a last push here. They're going to have about 50% Uber ad, so they have more than enough time and more than enough space just to chill up here in river, build up their Uber, and try to take something confidently. We'll have to see what the outclasses are like right now. They're just building up an Uber as best as they can right now. Might be in vain, but also going for the level 2 gun. Level 2 gun in secret is actually not the worst sort of disad gun that you could possibly do. We'll have to see exactly how it plays out for them, but Uber being achieved now for the side of enemy team. What they're choosing to slow down here, taking it in river, and they send to scout through water right now.
2 men in water.
Gun spotted immediately, so it's not going to do much, but they have so much cap time.
Nobody pays attention to the point. They're all stuck inside the spawn. They can't get out. They can't get out.
They really didn't even get shoved top right or anything. Just the rest of blue team just cowering in their spawn, expecting them to be really messed up in these doorways. But everybody else was just standing on point or shooting a gun on low ground. If they had just held their ground on the top right, could have been a way easier point for them to hold, and just nobody able to deny it. So now back to another mid, and I'm seeing a little bit of hope for STARMAN.
Slater is going through drop down immediately. No waiting necessary. Slater doesn't care. Marksv is able to find tracking. Now Value finds Slater. That is a soldier and a scout down for the side of enemy team. And they're gone. They're out. They don't want any more of that. That is a nice pipe, yeah. It is the Tom Brady lock and load pipe, but it is a nice pipe nonetheless. Vap and Mystic Liquid going to find Santa. Now Tadpole dying there is going to be detrimental to the side of enemy team. They do have Oats in behind inside of Red Choke. Mystic gets taken down. His position is revealed. Unknown is unaware though. Doesn't get taken down, but does get taken down to half HP. A simple single sack could potentially draw doom for the side of Starman Kick, but it looks like they catch a break here as enemy team doesn't want to risk it. They're not going to send anything in. And now it looks like Starman Kick is getting ready to just rip this Uber. And I don't blame them. You have crazy ad. I would wait just an extra second, make sure everybody is on the same page, because you're on full ad. You don't have to try and take anything too crazy. You don't have to take it too fast. You can wait a moment. But it looks like they're going locker here. This Uber finally getting used. Demo gonna bomb forward. Sentry is in the top left. So realistically, they could ignore that if they play it close to the top right, but it doesn't look like they're doing too great at trying to prevent pressure from the point, as Find Lo-Fi is still alive in secret. Demo comes up through water, and now this is another flubbed last push from the side of Starman Kick, and now Vap goes down. That is a team wipe. Santa wins that 1v1.
Crazy for going for that too. On like 21 HP, just chooses to take the 1v1 and actually wins it just so slightly, just able to kite a little bit forward and dodge that rocket. Is going to be super low on second here, and here comes the immediate refight. Unknown taking pretty low right now, and they're going to be actually getting 2 picks back. I did like the immediate aggression, but man, if you're just getting caught in this doorway, it's going to be impossible for you to find anything. And now 3 players caught on the enemy team's side right now. It's going to get bombed immediately, and they're just getting mulched one after another. Nice kills back, though. They are able to find both of the soldiers, so both bombers down right now, 2 for 2. It is actually even Ubers right now.
Free pick. This guy's 1 HP.
Yep, dead. And there's nothing in choke really to stop them, so here comes value through choke. Probably going to be calling the rest of the team to rush through choke immediately, and they're going to do so. They know if there's no soldiers.
Vap gets a nice rocket. Vap gets a nice rocket on the tadpole and forces him into lobby, so now there's no hope of enemy team being able to hold on to second.
Now we are going to be going into an even last hold, so we'll have to see what the counter, what the outclasses are, where the gun placement is, and what the actual sack plans are for the side of STARMAN. But first they have to get into river and clear out this lobby. There's a lot of things that can go wrong as you're trying to work your way into last in terms of hiders or just someone having a sniper angle already on you. So some things to worry about. No sniper in play though, and no real hiders in lobby. Just a soldier standing on bats is playing a little bit passively, so they have all the time in the world. 3 minutes and 20 seconds, actually not all the time in the world, but to figure out what their plan is in terms of either focusing this gun down, ripping enemy sack, trying to pressure cook, get someone in water. Really, it's your choice what you want to do, but you have to figure out something. You cannot let this opportunity dwindle down, especially being down around on Gullywash. Every single time that you can convert a round before it goes into banning time matters so much.
Yeah, and really with this game, I think it's going to be low scoring. I do think we might see a 4-3. Oh, I say low scoring. I mean a tight game. It might be a 4-3, or we could even see a 3-2 game, honestly.
Yeah, it really could be.
You know, if Starman Kick is able to secure
a
round here, that is good spam. Wait a minute, now Marksv is peeking in through water, distracts Slater for a brief moment, but they're not going to push in off that. They realize that they have an opportunity to try and regroup. But yeah, Santa finds the pick onto Marksv, so now Starman Kick is forced to take a moment. They have to wait for Marksv to get back. They can't send any sacks. The most they can do is kind of pressure and try and spam and do a little bit of spotting. But, you know, Mike's fine Slater, so now they have the opportunity to send someone through if they would really like to. But with that sentry up, I think the biggest thing they need to focus on is getting this gun down before they try and throw somebody in for a sack.
I'm very surprised that they didn't actually go for like a.
Wait a minute, Pudis and River. Is that Battalion's backup I hear with the Pudis in River? They push through. Ubers come out from both teams. It looks like the enemy team is flashing much more. Find Lo-Fi goes down. Good stickies from Mike's. Mystic and Marksv are down now, though, and so is Mike's. 3 players down, 4 players down, 5 players down, 6 players down. The Pudis tracking is too powerful. Finds 3 kills and defends Gullywash last with his life. The fat Russian man is too strong.
Dropping Poo Hat coming this August. Not entirely sure what that means, but I think just gassing up as heavy as their own. But I honestly, that didn't look like the worst plan that you could possibly have, trying to get a heavy in. But when you're really hyper focusing on this point and not able to get those kills early, then you're just sort of caught on this low ground. And rolling out heavy with crit eagles just does so much damage. And it works out for them, I guess. So now going back to second hold, there is a lot of Uber added in play as they were able to find unknown on blast inside of enemy team. So posturing towards this big door here, I'm surprised that they didn't launch immediately, but here comes the launch actually. Getting the demo in, and the man might just be caught in choke here, has to cut into elbow. Not the place you want to be as a medic right now. Has to try to run towards big door, but it's going to be a double stick kill from Lo-Fi, able to clean that up. Post bomb coming in is actually going to be cleaned up as well, and now just one scout in, or just one soldier in. And big door is actually going to find 2. So nice little constellation kills back, and they are able to find a medic in the post as well. So I did love the Uber, but not able to protect their medic in the post is enemy team. They do still get the mid win, and there's no real chance of Starman being able to push back immediately, as they do have 4 rolling out currently. So and that's one way to take mid, I guess.
I mean, yeah, you got mid. It's a bit awkward. But you got mid nonetheless, so I mean...
Yeah, I mean,
I guess
sure.
it works. So like you said, I guess it works, but...
A lot of the
it's
series
definitely
has been, I guess
scrappy.
it works. It's
Yeah,
just
I
kind
mean,
of the story of it. But
well, it's kind of the
actually,
story of open in general, right? I mean, a lot of the things are, I guess it works. People are figuring things out, which, I mean, it's not inherently bad, you know? A lot of, I guess it works plays are the most
I think
entertaining
something
ones
big
to
is
watch.
happening. There's a Krissy on the field, and they do have this quits ad. We'll see what they want to do with it right now. But here comes the push, actually. Super early push. They're just trying to bust their way through chunk. They notice that they have a lot of free space, and the crits does get used out, and finds absolutely nothing. So now Unknown at 99% right now. They are down 2 soldiers, so it might make people a little bit scared to try to do anything right now.
This is effectively a 3-man, though, as they lose Mike's that.
Oh my goodness.
And, and now they're caught in by choke. This is a massive bomb coming through from both soldiers. Slater and Santa go in. They drop the scout. Slater goes down, or sorry, Value goes down. Slater also does go down, however. The Uber does get used from the side of Starman kick. It's not crazy disad, but they have to go all the way back to last. There's no way they can get back into second.
How do you get that much? I don't get how you get that much out of
from nothing.
A crits creep that did absolutely nothing. Rest of the team just feeds in without their Uber even full, and they just lose 3. Drop a scout before even popping their Uber. At some point, you just have to cut your losses and just pop that Uber. Try to maintain some of your space. Get those kills back. They lose one of the scouts in that exchange, and they just have to immediately run with it right now. And now Tadpole on full crit screen again. They are going to be looking for any kills. No immediate sticky, but they are able to actually get down an opposite kill. But the point is to
wait a minute,
watch.
What? You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
Come on. Okay. Man, some people just got to get back into doing a few more demo reviews and figuring out where their soldiers got to stand, because that cannot be happening. You cannot let that slip through the cracks. I understand there's a lot of pressure coming up through the Crits Creek, but man, that is such a major fumble. And now enemy team up 3-1 right now with already one map advantage, just a few more rounds. And they're going to be doing amazing here. Great bomb coming out from the soldier. It's not able to actually clean up Unknown, though. Unknown taking down to 15 HP is going to get the pack. And now with 2 soldiers down, that means the enemy team has to leave. And they're backing up their medic through River. And it's probably going to be a free choke right now. Scout coming through, soldier coming through. Both scouts on height right now are just trying to bunker. So probably free ground to spam right now if you are on the side of Starman. And they're trying to walk up aggressively right now. Scout fighting on height right now is Value. They're looking for these scout kills, and these scouts are super evasive. They're not going down without a fight. Outsman cleans up 1, and there's still a scout alive right now, looking for this other scout as well. Here comes the bomb as well. Looking for Unknown, they are able to get the force. Tadpole backing up immediately as well, understanding how important it is to stay alive right now. But major kills right now means that, you know, there is a chance that Starman is able to hold on second here, but they have to be very cautious right now. There is a full Uber bearing down them, and here it is! Here's the full Uber immediately. Lo-Fi stick piping a scout, looking for more as well. Not really looking for the medic. So Unknown out immediately from this. Actually, not. He went to just behind the rock. He's in a lot of peril right now, and there's a scout chasing for him right now. It's going to be a pipe from Mike.
Nice fight.
But Mike's going to go down.
There's
and they're in a very scary spot here. Caught in the corner.
Yeah, this is not gonna work out for him. I hate to be the bear. Well, hold on. Maybe a frag could come out from that. Okay, no.
Oh, missed the air shot.
Missed air shot. Just low.
Get back in TR rocket shooting, man. You gotta hit that one.
You gotta win those. You gotta
hit that.
But
part of your contract.
Going off that, Value does find low.
Back cap.
Value does find the kill. There's a back cap. Wait a minute. You're right.
But wins it.
Value gets taken down at the very last second.
Taunts it too.
Oh, hey, I mean, you know what? The taunt is deserved there. You just prevented what could potentially be a game-losing back cap, so... Hey,
Marksby goes down, and they're just looking for more. Mystic is going to go down, and now... Unknown, and only 30% is going to be trying to get out through choke. They are able to back it up, not eating a lockpike or anything like that, but I guess just realizing that this is their last chance, they have to just kind of go for something here, right? If you're in this bad of a situation, but there's already 6 in the shutter. How is Unknown going to get out here? Already caught on 44 HP and going to be taken down by the scout. This is exactly what you want with this fast pressure with the demo, just locking people into the second and just pressuring them slowly and surely and just picking them apart right now. Now Marksby actually going to be winning a lot of fights though. Going to be Tadpole with full Uber just running away to forward spawn, meeting up with the spawners there. They're going to get a lot of forward spawns on second here. Only Slater denied on last, so still very, very good in general just because of the fact that Tadpole was able to bail on that early enough. We'll have to see if they're able to get through unscathed or if they just want to choose to pop this Uber through and just play the picks here on mid. They're going to be posturing towards big door, and really if you're a big door, you have to pop it, and there they do. Here comes the demo bomb. Demo bomb denied, has to shoot 2 skis on the ground to get through, and it actually leaves the rest of the players in choke side a little bit alone right now, but they're just mulching people. That's going to be Vap and Marksy down. So maybe not the best Uber in the world that you could possibly hope for. I mean, you didn't find the med, but you're still getting a consolation prize for it that does allow you to control mid.
Yeah, you are getting a very, very strong consolation prize. You get mid in your hands. Now, you might actually get a little bit more than you bargained for. They do manage to find Santa in through Baby Door. Now, Santa's not able to find the pick that he's looking for. He's not able to find Marksy. However, he is able to get some good info on where the players are standing on second. Now, that's not going to, be the most, valuable info, but if Tadpole had decided that they wanted to move in off of that situation, they could have taken it. They could have gone in off of the info for where the players were standing, but they're going to take a little while to regroup. They're going to take a moment to get things ready, and the Ubers are actually going to come out on the side of the red choke. Now the Uber for the side of Starman Kick is over before the side of enemy teams. Value and Slater trade out. Vap going down, no, and so is Mike's. Tadpole gets taken out by Mystic Liquid, though. Value going to be able to find Oates. Find Lo-Fi goes down to Value as well. This is two. The back cap is going deep. Tracking Tracking is actually deciding to go for the fight on 2. He wins the fight on 2. Oh my goodness, a double.
Probably just not aware, I guess, just not looking around, even though the point just got captured. There's
Tracking is going in for last. 2 meat shots.
Oh, so close. Marksy down on HP. Holy, was that close.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was way too close for Starman Kick fans. Now, if enemy team wants to play this, I should say the proper way. If enemy team wants to play this in the way that they just wait for the timer to go down and then take the Uber in and try to win the last fight, wait for the round limit to decrease, go for the 4th round, make the score 4-1, and then walk home with the amateur dub. But I don't even know if I don't think they're going to be able to wait that out. Both teams are going to have Uber by that time. I mean, the side of Starman Kick is building in lobby. It looks like they don't anticipate. Oh my goodness. Find Lo-Fi goes down. Oates goes down as well. They use in river with nobody. Now it's attached to Santa, but Santa's left out to dry. He gets left out to dry with that Uber. He goes too far forward, and now Tadpole craters. His Mystic Liquid throws him up into the air, and somehow, someway, Starman Kick manages to claw away. 37 seconds until the round limit reduces. Oh
They're
my
already
goodness.
on mid right now, trapping the boards. We'll see if he does come from it. There is a sniper that is tracking. A sniper and a spy both. Sniper going to be peeking through big door right now, looking for this medic. Misses the shot onto the medic. Going to be peeking for one more, but here comes the pop. They understand that there is a sniper in forwards, and they need to lock that out without dying to it. But here comes the heavy in forwards. Actually, might be a little scary if they can't do anything about it. They are able to force him down a little bit, but Track is still up 300 HP. Unknown down on 77. Spy coming in, looking for this, the shots from the medic.
Unknown is going to get gunned down to the point. Tracking.
What are we doing?
They find Map as well. They know the heavy's going to be in there, and they stay on the point. They stay on the low ground anyway. I don't know what the use was for either. It's a bomb coming in from Mystic Liquid. Marksy able to come in and mop up on the damage. They find Tadpole. He finds Oates as well. Mike's goes down. Tracking and their demo. Find Lo-Fi are alive on second. Marksy's taking the damn fight, but they lose. They're not able to find the final shot on to find Lo-Fi. Value caught in wood. Tracking gonna hunt them down and
drop the taunt on him too.
Yeah, the default taunt, no less. That ain't even anything special. That's just the default taunt.
Oh, that's the best scout taunt. That's the best scout taunt. Come on now, that's so disrespectful.
True. Hey, you're not wrong. It is the most disrespectful one he's got.
And so now even Ubers, but it's gonna be a lot easier for the to work their way onto the point right now. They have so much space to work with, just generally. And now there's still a lot of contention coming. Value going to find a pick onto Lo-Fi. Demo dead is actually major right now. Bomb's coming in from the soldiers, but they're not going to find too much major damage right now. So both teams sort of playing on their side right now. This is pretty much just a second mid fight right now. But both teams way more willing to like commit. And because of that, Unknown does go down. So that's going to be big Uber ad for this side of enemy team right now, as Tadpole does choose to back up their choke.
Santa
They're
comes into
fine
drop
with
down and
this.
finds Marks. Santa is still in drop down. Does nobody call things out on this team? Holy moly, he finds value as well. Santa finally gets taken down by Vap. They're looking for Mystic, who is jumping up onto the point, trying to get something done, but it's not going to happen. There's no kill, there's no force, there's no, well, there couldn't be a force, but there's no med kill, there's no nothing. And now enemy team is going to be rolling into second, full Uber ad, and it looks like Starman Kick is going to have to play back. This is a bomb coming in from Slater, trying to find the sniper, not going to be able to collect the kill though, but on the other side of the map, it's going to be Tadpole and Oats pushing into last. They try to find this pick onto Vap, but they find nothing. There is some good cap time. Vap drops off the ring, wins the 1v1. Now Vap down, Unknown down, Markspeed down, 3v3, as now Tadpole is caught in river. There's no one left to try and fight this last. It would be unwise to try and force your way in. Beautiful pipe from Mike's to secure the kill onto tracking. And now that is a beefed last push from the side of enemy team.
And it honestly looked a little bit better for them. Honestly, there was a few slight things that they could have done differently. If Tadpole took that Uber off of the scout on point and they actually had a little bit of that cap pressure, it could have made way more people have to jump on the point, and then the remaining players from the side of enemy team could have collapsed on it a little bit better. Just these small things that really can make a difference in terms of winning a round or not, especially on last holds.
Yeah, I mean, it's the little things that count. You know, you can make a couple little mistakes, but when you make as many little mistakes as were made in that attempted last push, it comes crashing down very quickly. You can have a few chips in your armor, but once they all start linking up, your armor is gonna shatter pretty quickly. There's no way to really recover from that. They lost a few players early on, and then a few players were just separated, and then they came in all stagnated, and it was all staggered, and it's just not what you want to see in the last push. Now, Vap goes down. Mike's trades that out, finds Tadpole. That is a drop from the side of the enemy team. Lo-Fi goes down. Mike's is dead, but Mystic trades that out, finds Oats. 3 players down. Wait a minute. Santa coming in from Banana, looking to go drop down. He's not spotted. Hello? Nobody sees him. Santa is under the point, has an opportunity to try and go for something, tries to, Marksy spots him, takes him down, but wait a minute, Slater is still behind, and he is going to big door. I think, no, Mike's didn't see him, so Slater, yeah, Slater is out. He knows he can't go for anything here. If he did, it would be a feed. He would most likely die there, so good call on him to get out. Now it's up to Starman Kick to try and take this Uber into last and convert a round.
They flubbed it twice now with these Uber ads and pushing into last. We'll have to see what the adjustment is right now. Looks like their combo is chilling in lobby right now. Maybe a shutter Uber here. And they have it, and they just need to rip this right now if they want to get anything of it. They don't want to give Tadpole a chance of being able to pop in this post. They're buffing up, really talking about what they want to do with the Uber. And every second counts here. They do pop the Uber. No gun to find really, except on the ground. It's not really covering the point at all, but there are traps on it. Scout in water is going to be finding it.
There's so much cap time.
Here comes post collapse though. But the counter Uber, that's the problem with taking so long to decide what you're doing on last, is you're giving the opportunity to Tadpole to cower and spawn and get that post collapse. And again, another flubbed Uber from Starman.
Yeah, the Starman really needs to try and decide what they're going to do with their Uber before they even get into lobby. That's what a lot of teams try to do, and I think that's what we're seeing enemy team do as well. They know what they want before they go in. Nice value. Nice place from Value. 2 headshots. Gonna find Oats, and I believe also found I don't remember who. I can't remember.
No way Value wins this.
Down.
No way Value wins this.
Doesn't win this. Santa finds 2. They find Unknown, but the cap time coming out from Vap. It's just the pyro on the point. Gets juggled up into the air. Vap wins. It's a team the second round. Vap gets another round on the board for Starman Kick. Extends the overtime. There are signs of life for Starman Kick to win on Gullywash and potentially take it all home. But it all hinges on this round. If they can win it, I guess I shouldn't say it all hinges, but it kind of does. It is match point, so It all hinges
Do or
on this
die.
round until it doesn't, and then it hinges on the next. But ignoring that, go into this mid. Santa going towards elbow, gonna get caught out. Value gonna be able to take him down. Is gonna get triggered out by Find the Lo-Fi on this mid. Vap going down very early. Oat's gonna be able to find that pick, and now Starman Kick is getting out of dodge. Mystic Liquid is still caught under the point, gets taken down. That is a delayed death. 2 players with 10-second respawns on the side of Starman Kick, and enemy team is not happy about how that last round went. They are coming back with a vengeance. They didn't find Unknown early on in that fight. They didn't get the med kill, but they don't care. They're going to be pushing their way into second already, and it looks like Marksv is the only one on Starman Kick who is in. This is a little bit of a feed. He's committed. He is staying in. This is far too much, and now Starman Kick pushed all the way back into their lobby. They have the Uber, but will they be able to maintain it? That goes down. This is a full team push through river. They have nobody on last. Now they're finally
it's going to be an exchange.
Scout through water, tracking on the point. A lot of cap time. Uber gets popped onto the point. 3 players, 4 players going onto the point. Find Lo-Fi dies. 3 players down for the side of enemy team. Santa dies, Slater dies. Tracking finds Marksv, and now the chase is on. Mystic Liquid finds Tadpole in river, and somehow, some way, despite the position enemy team found themselves in, they are not able to convert that round. Starman Kick lives to see another day.
Yeah, just barely. I mean, the plan there of sending a scout immediately on the point and then just really having your demo try to trap it off, it seems good, but they were able to get there with the Uber still on the point, and it just makes it really, really hard for anything to happen when even the people that are shooting the point aren't getting that damage that you really need to. Soldier behind now, on mid is going to be Slater, a little bit of a feed, not finding the jump that he wanted to onto the medic right now. Big ad right now for Starman. If they're able to convert this and bring this to a 3-3, could be anyone's game. We'll have to see how they're able to make their way into second right now. It is still scary. You know, Gullywash second is the easiest place to get bombed in the world. Value finds a really nice pick, though, onto Santa, who's actually on Spy, funny enough. So that gives them all the space in the world, and they're actually choosing to slow down a second here and letting this even out. I would have rather seen them just, with that pick, just run through second immediately and just take an Uber either through main or through shutter or something like that. I'm really hoping that they recognize that now and just don't pop this Uber, but they do. They don't realize that the enemy team still has their Uber, and it's going to be exchanged onto the top right. Gun on top left is not being focused on whatsoever, and is being killed by an NG and Spawn, so that's not going to go down.
Mikes is getting gunned down. Oats is on the hunt, goes down into secret, finds the kill. It's actually Lo-Fi who finds the kill, who also finds Value. Now Unknown dying to Santa, and this is not what they were looking for. They popped far too early. They didn't take enough space before they used. The sentry stayed alive. Their demo was left alone, and that is, this is what I mean when it's all the little things, they stack up and they take you down. There's only so many mistakes you can make during a last push. You know, you make 1 or 2, then it's okay. 3 or 4, that's where you start towing the line. And eventually, it wears you down. You can't do anything, and you bleed players. You hemorrhage players, like we were seeing Starman Kick do there. And what honestly, all I'm hoping is that they start to figure out what enemy team is doing and find ways to break it that works with how they play, because they are really struggling right now. Uber comes through the choke from enemy team. It is a little late. Unknown goes down though, and that is one of the best picks you can have right now. You remove the Uber from the equation, you get in with yours, and you get mid practically for free. You lose nobody, and you are just going to find your way into second pretty quickly after this.
Yeah, and you know, that's got to be a little bit of fatigue right there, just having your man on point, not really tracking the Uber, leaving Unknown out to dry. I mean, Unknown in all cases should be back on his own side of mid right now, getting ready to get out. But this leaves so much space right now for the rest of enemy team to work their way in. They are going to lose 2 picks for it, but they still have Uber add to work with. Not an Uber in play.
Value tries to go out through the shutter, gets taken down. They don't anticipate the stickies there. There's a back cap attempt from Marksv, but I'm not really sure if that is the play. They are going to be able to get out through Baby Door, and now Starman Kick, a situation that we have seen one too many times now. Is Starman Kick on their last, down a player, health is not looking great, and now it's enemy team coming in with slight Uber ad. They pop a little early inside of River, but there is a crazy stuff going on from Mystic Liquid, goes down for it, a little bit of cap time, getting ready to come through as Santa gets on the point, eats the stickies, and it's 1 tick away! Uber gets popped on top of the point. All they have to do is flush out these players. Scout in top left, Oats wins the duel against Vap. Oats is going on to the point. He's the last man standing, and there is nothing he can do as
Ooh,
Value comes
man.
through to clean it up and save his team from a 4-2 loss.
Oh my
This game is
gosh.
going to go on forever.
What a narrow way that they made their way onto point there, just barely getting onto point with that Uber. That was so close. They had all the people on point. They had 2 people on point, I believe, and it trapped off. If they weren't able to get there, or if just the demo dead a second earlier and jumped the people off, that is a round win, and that would be the series.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the unfortunate way to end your series. And I think Starman Kick says, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. We are not doing that at all. So they locked in there for that last, a little scrappy, but they made it work. We do have tracking up on Sniper in forwards. He's watching Big Door, trying to find a pick. He does get spotted. They know he's in there. And at this point, Starman Kick should have a pretty easy time getting in through choke, all things considered. Tadpole is playing further back. They had to build this out. But because Starman Kick is so slow to do things here, they're not going to be able to capitalize off of as much space as they could have. Now, Santa above the choke is probably going to be able to find Mike's. Does find Mike's. Santa is taking the fight with Mystic Liquid now. Mystic Liquid finds a pick, but gets taken down by Slater. 4 players down here. No medic alive. Unknown goes down. Vap is the last man standing. Gets taken down as well. 3 separate spawn waves on the side of Starman Kick. This could be the end of it all, as it's 3-2-2. They stack mid. They deny as many forwards as they can, but they're only going to get 2. That is probably the worst thing you could have happening for the
Still
side
enough
of
to get onto
Starman Kick
second
right
for
now.
free. I mean, they're not going to be really contested by anybody here. Even those 4 players that do get forwards, they just have to back up immediately into lobby. So now Uber ad is coming up from the side of enemy team, and unlike Starman, they recognize that they need to take it the second they get their Uber. They're not waiting around or dilly-dallying. They're taking these Ubers quickly. Now, the posts of the Ubers have not been the cleanest in the world, and they're having such trouble getting to lobby right now. Everybody from the side of Starman is in lobby right now and fighting. They find 1 kill, Santa taking down to 50 HP, and Oatsman actually dies to the spam!
Vap finds 2. They find
3.
3. Oh my god. They get a drop. They get a pick. And they get a trade. All in the span of like 3 seconds. I don't know what's happening anymore. This is plot armor. This is plot armor. Starman Kick refuses to die. Every time you think they're out of the fight, every time you think it's over, they claw their way back in. Now, Mystic Liquid goes down. Value goes down. Mike gets taken down. Spy comes in with the backstab. Tracking is probably going to be able to get away with this as the entirety of Starman Kick backs away. Vap is getting caught in Baby Door. Oats finds the pick. It's 2 players alive for the side of Starman Kick. And now, wait a moment.
Unknown had to
It's Oats
force.
in on last. Unknown uses, I think, 2 Oats, who's now running out through River. He's not getting chased. This is not going to go well for Starman Kick. This could be the end here, but wait a minute. They find 2. Lo-Fi and Oats do go down. This would be a little bit more.
Slater gets
Slater
it.
finds Unknown. Oh my goodness.
We're having a big open moment
goodness.
here on Fireside Cast, and you're witnessing it live. Just, none of this should be happening in all reality, but it is what's unfolding on our screen right now. So now Tadpole at 85%. He's probably going to be able to make the way into second right now. Is the Spy going to get a 3rd kill? By God, he is. A 4th?
Oh my
a 4th?
God.
No, not a 4th. But
No
still,
4th,
having
no
demo
4th.
dead means that second is probably going to be free right now. And Tadpole still with full Uber ad. They're not really going too quickly here, but now finally able to find their way onto the top of the point. They're all going to be jumping the scout.
Wait, Tadpole is caught.
Has to force it with nobody with him. Nobody with him. Just a soldier trying to run away. They're trying to get Tadpole out, but just barely. People are barreling through choke as much as fast as possible. That's going to be value through already looking for more. Soldier comes up from underneath, finds 1 kill, trade out immediately. So very nice counter defense from the scouts on the side of enemy team. But man, is it tense. Man, is it tough for these medics to stay alive in this series.
Yeah, the medics just keep trading back and forth and back and forth. There is no downtime. I mean, and I kind of understand it. Value goes down. Find Lo-Fi finds a pick. The Uber comes out from the side of Starman Kick. They use in Big Door and find nothing for it. Tadpole yet again finds themselves with Uber ad. Vap might get taken down, but the scouts on the side of Starman Kick are able to come in and mop up on the damage. Oats gets taken down, but his damage is cleaned up. Zap is deleted from mid. Now it is a 5v5. I think Starman Kick realizes that they are in a really, really bad spot. They have really, really bad Uber Disad right now, and they need to be playing by like Shutter. They need to be in lobby at this point, because what can you do aside from?
Oh, they're gonna be so caught here. Here comes the Uber, and everybody's caught on second right now. Unknown immediately eats a pipe down to 7 HP, just gets
Unknown is taken down.
Now Tadpole in a bit of a precarious situation, down to 13 HP. It's gonna be cleaned up by Value on the other side. So just a fist fight of a post going on right now. Only Santa hitting 2 upper directs. Not able to get the kill.
Keep happening?
We're here all night, baby.
I don't understand. I don't understand how this keeps happening.
We're here all night. This is our limbo.
Hey,
We're stuck on Gullywash.
I'll be here all night. I'll be here all night. Hey, you know what? Actually, hold on. You know what? I'm about to take a moment. You have to take over. I gotta check my Duolingo, make sure I got a streak free, so I don't lose. I got a 830-day streak going on. I can't lose this.
Oh yeah, work on that. I'll take over for you. Now there is a crits on the side of. They are building it up, and it is going to be crits that we'll see if they're able to take this aggressively. It's going to be about a good 20% that they have this, and they're posturing towards Big Door right now, really just banking on Lo-Fi, hitting a really nice crit sticky right now. They're posturing, here comes the pop, not able to find the medic with the first sticky, so it's completely aware right now that there is a sticky in play, and nothing really coming for it. But on the other side of things, they win the fight through choke right now. Santa already threw choke alone. Here comes the counter Uber though from Unknown. They need to find Tadpole in this. Tadpole is all the way up through main, but now with this guy chasing him on last, down to 23 HP, trying to surf away, but not able to find anything. Now if Unknown stays alive here, only on 7 HP, it's not going to be able to. It would have been a really, really good advantage for them to have, but they're just committing so deep for this mid every single time that the amount of times that this has happened on this map where we're just seeing both of these meds die over and over and over again. Like, at the same time as well. They're always really able to press the advantage in these posts just because they're constantly selling their medics out. They're just leaving them out to dry on Gullywash. You can't be doing that if you really want to convert easily.
Yeah, there's no way you can keep trading your medics over and over and over again. Like, at that point, you're just playing a 5v5. Your medic can't catch a break. I mean, at a certain point, your med's just gonna get tired. Your med's gonna look at you and say, "I'm tired, boss," and just stop healing you. I mean, there's gotta be a breaking point for these medics somewhere where they keep trading back and forth. Santa bombing on the point, not gonna be able to find anything. Gets collapsed on by 6 people. I think even the medic shot a crossbow at him. So, I mean, I mean, this is certainly a grand final. That I think this is the most interesting grand final that we have probably covered, and I think it all boils down to this map just being so chaotic between these two teams. I saw some discussion earlier that Starman Kick is definitely more of a DM team. That's what a lot of people are saying, and it kind of shows. They do have a lot of coordination, but their biggest issue is trying to remain coordinated when they take these team fights. It usually devolves into people taking really awkward 1v1s. They take really awkward just stranded fights where nobody is together, and they can't be doing that. If they want to extend their chances of winning amateur grands and they want to find their way into map 3, they have to try and play more together. There's nothing they can really change beyond that. They have to just dial back on the DPM and play more together.
We're just making shit up. We're a contra going into last right now. we're just making shit up at this point. Okay. We'll see if this one pays off for the that is farming it up right now.
We're on Conch going into Gullywash last here. Vap has the banner on standby. I don't think it's ready yet. That's why they're going for the spam, but we really are just making things up.
Dude, it started with the freaking the Dragon's Fury Pyro on Bagel, and now we're on this.
well, it started with the Dragon's Fury Pyro, then it went to Napalmer Pyro, so they went to the proper flamethrower afterward, but it didn't work out. Now we're on Conch trying to push in.
So
to
Conch
last.
with an exchange gives you a speed boost because both teams are going to be Ubered, so you're not really going to be doing any damage. The main advantage of it would just be that you move around faster. They are able to get the dispenser pick. That's exciting. The gun dead. That's something. Do we have the conch to work with? Are we going to be going for a conch stack right now? Gun is being rebuilt. They have to do something quickly if they want to press this advantage. Otherwise, we're going to be going into a round reset with nothing happening here.
Yeah, so the conch, I think, is something you have to wait and use for post-Uber. You have to wait until your players start flashing and that Uber is about to go away, or hold it for like a second after the Uber. Because if you use it during, you're wasting the banner. Because the only benefit you get is the increased movement speed. It's there to help you in the post. Now they do try and bait the cap a little bit. Marksy goes up through water and gets some attention drawn. Stickies do get moved to the point. Now Santa is up on Sniper. Let me check where he is looking. It looks like he's looking at Locker right now, trying to slowly move between Launchpad and Locker.
Yeah, just trying to clip one of these soldiers. They are going for some sort of a pressure cook right now. Someone tried to walk through water and then just double spam with the gun, which is textbook, right? But
wait, the Uber comes out.
And they're using it early. They pop the conch early.
You have to save it for after, my friends. Your conch is your post-Uber blessing. But there's 2 picks. Now 2 picks on all sides. Value is weak. Unknown is dead. Tadpole goes down. Marksy and Value are able to find the picks. But wait a minute. It's 3-3. They wipe on the side of enemy team. The score is all knotted up. It's 1 round away. This is match point. This could either seal the grand final in a 2-0 win for enemy team, or we could move on to the 3rd map. We could see the absolute pinnacle of amateur grand final gameplay. Fatigue has to be setting in for these teams. Bomb comes in, Slater goes down, Santa tries to find Marksy and will be successful. Tadpole goes down, Vap is able to find that pick, and now it's going to be Scout rushing through. Oat tries to find the pick onto Unknown, but they're not successful. Soldier tries to go in and find the pick as well. Santa gets taken down inside of a lower. Santa, or Tracking, is able to find Mystic Liquid on mid, and it is over for enemy team on this mid. They pretty much wipe here, and now Starman Kick, full Uber ad, pushing it a second for free. Could this game end in a mid to last?
Could possibly be right now if if Starman is able to actually convert this right now and take this quickly. I don't want to see them slow down. Get your ass in the river right now. Pop that Uber. Take your advantage.
You have to go. Z3. Z and 3. Press Z and 3 on your keyboard right now. Tell your teammates to go, go, go. Get into last. You cannot hold on to this Uber. You need to go now. They are trying. They are pushing slowly in through river. The Uber gets popped out through Locker. Sentry goes down extremely early. There's no cap time yet. The Stickies are still on top of the point, but the players are trapped inside of the spawn. There's no Stickies on the right side of the spawn. A little bit of cap time coming through. The Puzza comes out, drops down onto the point. 2 players down, 3 players down for the side of the enemy team. All players on the side of Starman Kick are low, but they have explosives. The spam comes out. The Uber comes through from the enemy team. I think they're going to be able to hold on to this. Vap is stuck inside of spawn, has no hope of living, dies. It's a team wipe for Starman Kick, and we avoid going to map 3, at least for the time being.
Just for a slight moment, they are able just to hold on for just a little bit longer right now. And that Uber, it did look really good, but again, you can't be slow going into Gullywash last. You can't let them possibly get an Uber, because if they're able to counter pump that Uber on last point, there's no chance of you ever getting enough damage down to really get anything done. You're all going to be dead before that. They find Slater, but both soldiers dead now on this midpoint right now. Demo accidentally fell on the ground right now, so they're going to be missing a lot of their spam, and possibly Mike's is going to be caught here. He's just spinning on the ground.
This is not the play. Marksy is caught behind, draws 2 scouts back, does manage to get their attention drawn. Santa goes down, Lo-Fi goes down, Value able to find those picks. Now they're going to be pushing through the choke here. Uber gets used from the side of enemy team. Unknown is caught in that choke. Can they hold on? They grab the health pack. They might get the Uber here. They get the Uber. They pop. Tracking goes down. They're looking for the combat. They don't need to worry about Tadpole right now. Tadpole drops onto the floor. Mystic Liquid J hits a nice rocket. Mystic Liquid gets taken down, but there's a lot of damage coming out onto Tadpole. Tadpole goes down. Value finds a pick, and now Value finds Oats as well.
Value.
This is functionally a team wipe. All they have to do is capture second. We could be seeing a map 3 here. But wait a minute. Find Lo-Fi and Santa. They find a lot of picks inside of lobby. Value is able to trade out with Santa. It's a 3v2, but spawners are coming in for the side of enemy team. I don't think we're going to see the game end just yet.
again, the meds both die. It just happens again and again. That looks so amazing. I mean, Value put in so much work there, keeping Unknown alive on that post in the exchange there, but still just squandered by them going a little bit too fast before they're having their Uber up. I would rather them just chill on second, take their advantage, and as soon as they are close to getting their Uber, just rip it through. But now it's going to be about even Ubers now, as both meds died nearly around the same spawn wave. So we'll have to see what the pressure looks like. Hopefully, no conch in the pre-Uber, or nobody really dying too early right now. But they have to figure out something. You have to get some sort of pressure. There is no way a raw exchange into a gun, especially just in sort of a weird spot, is going to work out for you. Here comes the bomb as the gun is being built. Great timing on the bomb, but not enough damage. Tadpole ultimately taking out a 60 HP. I don't hate the attempt whatsoever, but just not paying off. Sniper peeking aggressively through main now. Santa looking for anything is going to get found out by a soldier. And Scout fighting him as well. They're not able to clean up either of those kills, pushing too aggressively in that tiny doorway, but it was very, very close to being the case. And so now we have a Sniper watching River. We have a spawner coming back up. No off class is really chosen right now from the side of Starman. They're just going to be coming back on the soldier and trying to figure out what their next plan of attack is right now.
Yeah, I mean, they have to regroup. I'm going to look at VAP here. I'm just going to check their... Oh my God, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe what they're on, chat.
I don't want to believe it.
They are on the conch yet again. We are going to see the same theory we just saw not too long ago. They are looking to repeat history. They are looking to try and get another win. They're going to try and extend it to map 3. I mean, hey, I guess if it works, it works, but hopefully they hold it till post this time. Maybe one of them has the cast open and they heard it on the delay where we're saying you have to hold on to conch for the post. You know, who knows? But they're not taking this. Like you said, taking the raw Uber exchange into the gun just really isn't a great idea. It's not like it's a terrible idea, but it isn't great. And now they're trying to just build up their conch. So this is going to take them a little bit. 1:37 left on the round timer. And no team is really trying to poke and prod or anything like that. I do believe we have officially reached the 1 hour mark on Gullywash. If I'm not mistaken,
Gullywash, let's go.
We could get the 90-minute Gullywash game. And man, I don't know. Dude, honestly, I feel like at this point they're not even going to be able to build up the conch before the timer runs out.
VAP is really struggling getting this conch built.
Yeah.
Only at about 50% on it. It's a slow process, and a minute of the.
So we're peeking through Launchpad. A lot of stickies around him to try and protect him from some kind of counter. The gun is still alive. It's right next to the doorway, but it is there to prevent them from peeking through. Santa jumps up and hits some nice rockets onto Mystic Liquid. Now it's going to Value pushing through. They can't focus fire on that sentry. They can't peek it from river. They got to peek out deep, and that could lead to them getting killed by a scout. Maybe a soldier jumps in, and you know, if they're standing too close to each other, they're going to get a lot of damage. The conch gets used. They're holding on to the conch. They're getting ready to rip an exchange. I think this is coming through river. Here they go. They move their way through. Sentry still up by Locker. The Uber gets popped. Demo bombs forward. Sentry is still alive. Gets taken down very late. A little bit of cap time coming through as Mark V comes up through water. 2 players down on the side of enemy team. 1 player down. Mike's goes down. 3 players down for the side of enemy team here. This could be the end as we look at this round. A little bit more cap time could do it. It's 4 players down for the side of enemy team. 5 players. 6 players. And Starman Kick managed to claw their way back from a 3-1 deficit. They win on Gullywash. They take it to map 3, and we will see a full series for this grand final.
And not the way that we expected to see this sort of this game 3 really come about. Man, that was hard fought on both sides. A lot of flubbing. Just to put that out there, a lot of flubbing going on, but in the end, it just winning slightly in the margins by the skin of their teeth is Starman. And for that being that long of a game, looking at this log, it's a little funny. Val dropped 72 kills.
Oh my God.
72. Let's let that one sink in for a second.
58-minute, 31-second Gullywash game. This is not a real log. And the kill differential is only 10. It's a 195 to 185 game. The healing diff isn't even really existent. I mean, actually, Unknown had 0 drops this game. I think they had no near full charge deaths either. Tadpole had 2 drops, also no near death drops. But I do think we need to cut this logs analysis a little short. I'm sure as you guys can tell, we need a little bit of water. We need a little break. An hour of Gullywash casting
Straight.
will do that to you. So we're gonna throw it to a quick 5-minute break, give or take a little bit more, a little bit less, and we will come back to you with the third and final map, which is, if I'm not mistaken,
Sunshine.
it should be Sunshine. Yeah, so we'll be back in a little bit with Sunshine for you guys, going into Saturday morning TF2.
Oh yeah, baby. We'll catch you guys in just a second.
Welcome back, everybody, to Fireside Casts. It's still me and Eki and Bong Gripper with Pika on production. We are coming back. The final map, the final match of RGL Season 18. This is amateur grand finals between Starman Kick and enemy team. The third map, Sunshine, after a comeback win from Starman Kick to tie up the series. It's all settled here. I am really looking forward to this one, and I hope you are too, Vaughn, because this is going to be this is going to be for all the marbles. This is where it all comes out. Every strat, all of the tech, every play has to get done here.
We are going the distance right now, and I think the interesting thing to think about too is that, you know, it's midnight for a lot of these players, including us. So these strats that are going to be coming out are either going to be just completely off the wall crazy, or it's just going to be exactly what they know, what they've been doing in scrims, and just trying to rely on their basic game plans, right? You can only play so mechanically good in a series for so long, but this has
Yeah.
gone on for as long as like a very, very close best of 5 would, and only a best of 3. That Gullywash was grueling for both of these teams. I can only imagine. Nice thing is though is we are on Sunshine, so that does give a little bit more freedom for these teams to just be a little bit looser on the cuff, right? I mean, you have a lot more places where soldiers can jump around, a lot more spaces for scouts. It's a lot easier of a scout map than Gullywash. Even though, crazy thing is that even though we were on Gullywash, the soldier map, scout were really the deciding factor of the game, right? I mean, they were setting the pace the whole time. Soldiers were more cleaning up meds and stuff like that, and obviously there was a ton of med deaths, but you know,
Yeah.
still.
And I think you said Gullywash was grueling. It had to be grueling. We took a break. Imagine what the players wanted when they got done with that. I think they probably valued that break much more than we did, because casting takes a little bit of effort, but being there, throwing out the comms, that mental fatigue sets in quick. But we're going live, the first round of the final map, and decided on process, but better. We're on Sunshine here, and right off the bat, Mike's is dead. Slater finds the rocket to take them down. It looks like Mystic Fluid has to leave as well, and Starman Kick is just getting floored on this mid right now. They have no room to try and contest, and enemy team is just pressuring them out the whole way through. Mystic Liquid craters. Santa's able to find that pick. Slater goes down. Marksy finds the kill. It looks like Slater took himself out trying to jump away. Oates finds Marks V, and now it is full backpedal. Alarm sounding. Value goes down. Nice pipe from Lo-Fi on the Iron Bomber. That caught in. Mike's caught in. That is a demo trade, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point. The Uber could... Oh! The Uber doesn't come out. It's 98% drop. The Pyro with the Dragon's Fury comes out. Gets 1 kill, but it's not enough. And in the first minute and 10 seconds, the first round is decided. Enemy team is here to win it all. It's already 0-1.
The speed of that. I mean, they were able to just obviously find the original pick on mid, but just continuing that speed forward, one pick after the other, just slowly trickling these players down until there's nobody left on last. Textbook, really. It's just exactly what you want when you're really pressing on the gas here.
Yeah, you 100%. want that kind of momentum. You 100% want that kind of pressure. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to work with that momentum as Tracking
down
and
to
Santa
20.
go down. Mystic Liquid doesn't go down here. Health does go very, very low. But there is no kill converted. So we move on. Now it looks like that's not a complete 180. Unknown is still alive. Value actually goes down. And I was about to say Tadpole retains their Uber. And that still remains the case. But now Starman Kick loses 3 players actually. Marks V, Value, and Mystic Liquid all go down. And I think we're seeing the first pause of the game already. This has to be a tech pause, I think.
It's got to be, right? I mean, they are down 3 though. That, you know, if you were going to immediately tech pause, this would be a spot to do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you were going to do a tech pause, maybe one of your players crashed, maybe there's some lag issues. We did have earlier in the game on Bagel, we had 2 players lagging out on both teams. Santa lagged out on Bagel, I think sometime in one of the first few rounds, I think round 1 or 2, and then towards the end of Bagel, we saw excuse me, we saw Starman Kick have to take a pause for one of their players that was lagging. So I'm not sure what is going to I don't know what the cause for this is. I guess the chat is saying that Value has crashed, so could be the problem. You know, having TF2 open for this long leads to usually nothing good for your PC. But
yeah, source games.
It's not even for the PC. It's just for the game. They just explode after a while.
Source games be like.
That's true, actually. Yeah, that is just kind of how source games boil down. I mean, if you leave TF2 open for more than like 3 hours, it just slowly whittles itself down. So I mean, this was bound to happen at some point. I'm surprised we didn't see, well, maybe we did see a few people do the good old restart after the game just to make sure their game doesn't implode on itself like we have for Value here. But the good thing is that assuming, well, actually the pause here isn't when the actual pause came through. It is a little bit later, but let's just hope that for the sake of Starman Kick, it didn't happen during an important fight. Let's just hope that is the case.
Yeah, I really hope not. It does get a little bit of space right now. I'm surprised they didn't go off for those 3 picks that they had on mid, but now it just kind of leaves enemy team just sort of figuring out what they want to do on 2 second. Now the nice thing is that it's a lot easier to get a sack going on Sunshine than it is on Gullywash, right? I mean, you have to jump through like 6 different hoops to get an actual successful sack going, and here comes the soldier through, tracking with 1 fight. 1 soldier jumping through on the cafe side is going to be taking the pack and backing off right now. But even Uber exchange right now, an unknown has to run away.
Yeah, they need to get out of here. Marks V is down. Their health is not looking good, and that is a lot of damage coming their way. Mike's is going to go down. Santa's going to be able to find Value here, and now they have to get out. Unknown gets caught in the doorway and gets taken down. Mystic Liquid gets deleted by Oaks. That's a 2K that is traded out by Vap, but there's only 1 player alive. It's the Dragon's Fury Pyro once more, and they try to get some picks. They get 2, but 2 is not enough, and that, coincidentally, is going to be the second round. The second Dragon's Fury kill leads to the second round. Maybe if we get to the 5th round, we'll see 5 Dragon's Fury picks.
I don't think we will. I'm gonna be honest with you. But
hey, maybe.
Coming into mid, obviously this is the big sticking point that we've seen just in this game in general. The aggressive mids that are coming out from enemy team have just been working over and over again. And they're running a freaking pyro to mid with a scorch shot, dude. Okay, we're just starting at this point.
Well,
now maybe. He does get a kill. Here comes the jump actually from the pyro. Gets a little bit of damage, but dies immediately. And Mike's gonna go down. Here comes the soldier trying to clean up. It's not able to kill Lo-Fi. Lo-Fi taking down to 11 HP. And that is another mid win.
I'm not sure if they're just trying to throw things at the wall and see if it sticks. Maybe they're not confident in being able to take the mid here. But I don't know. This is This is rough. This is not looking good at all for the side of Starman Kick. They're down 2 rounds. It's only been 5 minutes. They are trying to take a little bit of pressure back. Value manages to find tracking, and it looks like, for the time being, enemy team is going to be playing back towards Tetris. This is exactly what you want to do because you've lost that player. So you want to play it back, you want to wait for them to spawn, and then you rip your other side. That's exactly what they're doing. No air shot. Santa does get taken down. Everyone on the side of Starman Kick went back for that, though. That could have been a good time to maybe try and force your way through Valley, but maybe this next push, maybe this next sack. Wait, they use through Cafe. They're coming around Tetris. This is the most awkward Uber I've ever seen. They take forever to actually get through with it. They push it onto mid now, and now they leave second wide open. Their players are able to get on top of point. They have to push back into their own second. They do have picks on their side. They have 1 player advantage. Now they don't. Unknown goes down, but wait a minute. There's 4 players down. Now 5 players down as Marks V and Mike's and Value are able to find their own respective picks, and that will somehow net them a win. I don't know how that works out for them, but it does, and that is, I guess, the strategy of the night, or I guess I should say the day, as we are 3 minutes away from Saturday morning TF2.
Oh yeah, and I think we're going to be going into Saturday here, unless we get a 5-0 in less than 2 minutes here, which I don't think is physically possible. But now both medics dead. That is kind of the story of the series. Is just thing happens, it's the most chaotic thing you've ever seen, and then both medics are dead, and then we're just going back to some sort of goal, right? So now, but the inverse actually, we now have Starman actually in control of mid. I don't know if this is their first time actually controlling mid this entire series, but they are finally in the driver's seat to figure out what their sack plan is. Going for the standard sort of hold right now as they're building up their Uber, so nothing too interesting, but I'm curious to see what their sort of plan is. I love doing Fates to Valley, and then maybe either sacking the Soldier through Choke or Soldier Speed to Shine through Cafe. It's really up to them what they want to do, and I'm curious what their original plan is. They have all the time in the world to talk about it, or at least I hope they're talking about it. So now we'll have to see. Even Uber's now at this point, time is only ticking down, and it is up to Starman to just figure out what they want to do now.
Yeah, Starman has a lot of options on the table. That goes in. That is a nice juggle for the beam, but unfortunately just not able to find that.
The scouts melted him down so quick. Mike's does find 1 back, so actually going to probably snuff out any bit of a counter-sack attempt that is going to be going on. There is still a bit of peppering going on in Valley right now, a little bit of a scout fight going on. And the scout might be caught right now. Tracking taking down to 15 HP is able to barely get around the corner right now. But it just seems like completely normal state of being, right? That sack looked so nice, the jump was clean, it was just the scouts were so quick on focusing him down that he wasn't able to get that second rocket off. In that case, you do have the air shot attempt to go for, but here comes the soldier again, part 2, nice rocket, 1 rocket off.
There's 1.
Not able to go for the air shot.
No air shot, no crater, no force.
And sometimes you gotta go for it. Sometimes you just gotta go for the air shot. He turned around and tried to shoot the players on concrete. Instead, I would rather you just go for the air shot. You're trying to get the force out from the med, or just always make them fearful enough to pop that Uber.
Exactly. I mean, and also, your goal is not those players. Don't worry about them. They're gonna mulch you. You're probably gonna die for it. That's your job. That's your role right there. You're going in for that sack. If you die, you die. At least maintain your focus on the target. Your target is that beam. Your target is the med that you've just launched up in a straight line in the air. This is a really good opportunity to try and go for the air shot, but unfortunately, their attention is directed somewhere else, and now with Mystic down, they can't throw in another sack. So
they also have Vap on Sniper right now, which is going to make
Wait a minute, Red is Ubering through Cafe. They take this out. Slater gets taken down early. Value's able to find that pick, but it's traded out by tracking. Santa's going to be able to find Marks V inside of that choke, and now it's 3 players down for the side of Starman Kick. The Uber gets popped for the side of Starman Kick. Zap is able to find Santa. What a beautiful shot, but it doesn't matter. Tracking finds him, and it's traded out. 3 players down for each team, and I think enemy team is going to be able to waddle into mid and take it for free.
It was really interesting, actually. The pop came out from Unknown, and it was just so late. Oh my god, Unknown just stood on 3 stickies for about 2 seconds straight. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't even catch that. That's terrifying.
I forgot what I was talking about. I was just baffled by
I
that.
don't remember
He was
either.
just ADing on stairs in choke, just on 3 stickies, and it just dead immediately.
You mentioned he was standing on 3 stickies, so I was like frantically clicking through to find his POV, and he was already dead.
It was not a good sight. It was not a good sight. I just want to say that.
Yeah, that
but
doesn't
now,
sound like
full
a
Uber ad, big Uber ad for Tadpole right now. Tadpole doesn't have the Uber quite yet.
And that's
so
good damage into Unknown. Unknown is caught out by Lo-Fi in with a crazy bomb. Catches out Unknown through Shutter here. Lo-Fi gets traded out. Value's going to be able to find that pick, and now nobody else on the side of enemy team is going to die. Well, I just lied to you, actually. Mike's is able to find Oats, so that is a 2 for 2, but the players from enemy team are pushing into last. The Uber comes out, and they have to focus down this heavy. Marksv is still alive. He doesn't get focused down, and that Uber, this is a little bit of a poober, I would say, as their soldier and their med go down. Santa and Tadpole are both taken down by Mystic Liquid, and yeah, that is rough. You gotta focus down the Pudis there if you want to have any hope of winning that last, especially with that Uber.
I mean, man, that was a nuke on the top right, though. Now, Uber ad for Unknown. Unknown has been having a hard time staying alive just in this series, and especially this map as well.
Oh!
So they're able just to hold it down. Lo-Fi finds a nice little trap kill onto Marksv. But still, mid in their control. They're trying to pressure through doorways, but it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, this is not going to be easy for them. Tadpole, 55% Uber.
Look at tracking! Look at tracking!
Wait a minute, tracking. What are you doing? Tracking. What?
How is he there? Why is he there?
Who?
Make it make sense.
When? What? I'm lost. This.
Make it make sense. They popped the choke really
Exactly.
early on. They're looking to catch up with the med, and the med does have the Uber in time. It's gonna be Tadpole with a slightly better Uber here, but they lose Santa in the midst of it.
Oh, Unknown gets taken down!
Dead.
Unknown left to dry. Their scout leads him. Zap goes down. Mike's goes down. Marksv is dead. Mystic Liquid is dead as well. This is a free push into
Just
mid.
Value. Value looking for Lo-Fi right now, but it's gonna be
Value's
down
trying
with
to find
scouts.
anything at all.
Yeah, not gonna find much there. You're chased so closely.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. There's just nothing you can really do there. As soon as you lose your chariot and your med right there, you lose your scout and your med. Unknown going down, and I think it was Marksv that was with him. That
Lo-Fi
went
dead.
down. Nothing you can really do there, but yeah, Lo-Fi is dead going into this mid. An attempt to bomb the height from Santa, but eats a lot of damage trying to land. Tracking and Oats are both dead. That's 3 players down for the side of enemy team, and it doesn't look like there's any players on enemy team on mid. Now, there is Santa hiding close to the choke, does get immediately spotted by Mike's. Nice air shot from Fap to take him down. This is going to be 1-player ad trying to get into that last, but no Uber in play.
You know, if they are really thinking aggressively about it, they can just be like, hey, we've been building this whole time. Why not just take it on dot and just really try to force something here? They possibly could, but I don't think that's going to be the case. They're just going to be building up on concrete here. They're not positioning to get anywhere in lobby right now. 90%, so we'll have to see what the sack attempt is going into last. Now, the problem that I see with a lot of these teams is they're not going for like an actual sack to really get anything. They're just more trying to kill someone on their own team so they can go maybe sniper or spy or something like that. I would love to see them just really attempt something that's just aggressive and gets directly onto the medic's face right now. Either pressuring through left and trying to get a kill there, or just speed shotting through right. Just do something that is going to mix them up right now, because this slow pressure has been proven to not work if we can go off Gullywash as anything.
Yeah. Like, this slow pressure is not going to go in your favor. Right? You noticed this in Gullywash. You tried to change it up a little bit. You employed a couple questionable
They put a conch
tactics.
in there, I guess.
They put a conch into the equation. They kind of wedged the solution into the problem. Although that's kind of the equation. It's like the thing where you did the equation wrong, but you got the right solution anyway. So it's like it works, you know. That's kind of the story of this grand final. Is it just works? So you know, what more can you do? I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I mean, realistically speaking here, like you were saying, it would be nice to see them just try and throw something aggressive into the mix. Just get right into the medic's face. Vap goes down, peeks out a little too aggressively, and that Sentry is going to find him. Santa finds Mystic Liquid as well. Now this is not a good position, but Marksv is able to take down Santa. Scout going in with their beam. Oats and Tadpole trying to pressure forward, but they immediately pull back out. Slater in, gets the force in. They try to push forward. Now the Uber comes out from the side of enemy team. This Uber is not good for the side of Starman Kick. Unknown is caught in, getting body blocked. Bikes goes down, Unknown goes down. Oats man is just farming right now. A lot of damage. Tracking going to be able to find the kill onto Value. That Sentry cleans up the kill. And now Starman Kick is out on second. Down 2 rounds. 15 minutes left in the game. Or until overtime.
Liquid trying to run away here. There's not really much to be had here. Very little chance of them actually getting through or finding anything. They are still poking, but
Tadpole's dead! Marksv gets in! Finds the med pit!
How dare I say that? I was completely wrong. I guess in AM, Marksv is just allowed to get behind for free and is able to get the kill on the med. They're looking for all these salvage kills right now they possibly can get. Unknown taking out a 10 HP and is able to live. Hopefully they save the pack for him in lobby right now. But now 50% Uber ad and 2 picks to work with. There is still a gun to attend with, so might be a better idea just to slow down here, try to get the Uber, heavy up as well, and just take a confident Uber push.
Yeah, I mean, you have a very good position here. You are going to have to push into a 66, but you have the Uber. Just play together. That is the biggest issue this team has been facing, is they're not playing together. They bomb in. Buddha's still alive. Sentry's still alive. The Buddhist is really just laying into these shiny players, not really doing anything.
Down, so does the gun.
That aren't doing anything. Gun is down. Heavy is down. 1 player down for the side of Starman Kick. Mike's is dead. Now 2 players down for each team. Buddhist and Soldier down for the side of enemy team. Now it's Tadpole dead. All damage is permanent. If they can just play around their beam on the side of Starman Kick, things could go very, very well for them. But they need to be wary of the spawners. They're coming up very soon. Tracking goes down. Slater is very weak. Value's world, and we're all living in it as he goes in and he finds Lo-Fi as well. It's a 3 stack on the cap, and they find themselves on the board. It's 1-2 on Sunshine. We could be seeing a comeback.
If they're able to pull that off again and Unknown doesn't die randomly after they get this med kill, they're very able to turn this around. I mean, I would not be surprised. It is very dependent on how this mid plays out, though. We've already seen on the first round that if enemy team gets an advantage, they're going to push it into your last and onto the last point if you let them. So they need to be very, very confident on this mid. Make sure that they're killing the feeders. Make sure that they're still doing something aggressive. Don't let them have this space for free. It's all up to how this mid goes.
It is all down to how this mid goes, like you said. Going into it, nobody's really taking a lot of damage except for Slater, who gets taken down, but that is a trade out as Lo-Fi finds Unknown. Unknown goes down very early on, and now it's a salvage situation. Mike's is dead, Vaps is dead, Oats and Santa find those picks. Now Tracking finds Value. Now Marksv is dead. Lo-Fi finds 2 on this mid. Mystic Liquid, the last man standing. Not sure where they are. They're in red choke here. Going for the bomb, gets immediately meat shot by Tracking on
That's
mid.
a late death.
You should have just kill binded there, I think. That's where you kill binded. You just try to regroup with your team on a either the same spawn wave or at least only slightly delayed.
Yeah, definitely. And now we've already seen the past with the Unknown team Ubers. They're way more confident with it. The rest of Starman is actually posturing very aggressively on lobby early on now, but now choosing to back up player on their gun. They know that they're probably not going to get this Uber in post. They're still building for it right now, but here comes the aggressive Uber in through top right now. They find 2 picks immediately onto the demo.
There's so much cap time. Nobody's paying attention to the point. Hello? Knock on the front door. The lights are off. Nobody's home. Nobody's there to answer. And that will be enemy team coming in with the 3rd round. There's still 11.5 minutes to go until overtime kicks in. Ladies and gentlemen and friends in between, it is a 3-1 game here, and really this could go either way. We could see another endless overtime game like we saw with Gullywash. We could see a reverse sweep.
Oh my gosh, Lo-Fi is so much faster.
Yeah, Lo-Fi is just absolutely steamrolling its way through this mid. Already on wood by the time
everybody was caught in Valley. Lo-Fi was so fast that their demo was
the soldiers are committing in. Slater gets taken down, and it looks like enemy team is kind of bunched up in choke here. Could have been an opportunity to maybe jump them, get them to back away, get some space, you know, take it back, but they're not going to be too aggressive. They're gonna bide their time here, and they're gonna let these Ubers even out. They're pretty much exactly even, almost off by like 2-3% on either team. So this is looking a little bit better for the side of Starman Kick.
Obviously,
Definitely
Unknown didn't
could be
die.
worse.
That's major, right? It was if Unknown's staying alive in this, that gives them a fighting chance to really just counteract these bombs and play for more of their advantage. Otherwise, they're just getting steamrolled. We've seen it twice now how quickly they can get steamrolled if they're just leaving these picks open. So you just gotta be very, very careful about Unknown's life right now from these sacks. They're posturing a little bit close to choke right now, which is a little bit spooky, but obviously they're just trying to pressure their way through Valley, make sure that there's no spam that can really go through to pressure them back really far into concrete that allows someone to either work their way through Cafe or just a free soldier bomb through choke. They are not trying to give them an avenue right now.
Yeah, no. And if you're on enemy team right here, you know you've got 9 minutes 40. You have all the time in the world. You could let the clock go down as much as you want. You can do whatever you want at this point. The series is tied. It's 1-1, but you are leading in rounds for Sunshine, and really that's all that matters at the moment. You're up 2 rounds. You can afford to make some mistakes. But as we say, that Starman Kick is going to be coming in through Valley. That Uber is going to come out, and the counterpop is going to be coming out from enemy team as well. Find Lo-Fi gets caught out under the point. Value is going to be able to mop up that kill. That is only kill coming out from this Uber. Vap could die. Vap is very low, is trying to play around his combo. That is going to be Santa going down as well, and that is going to be a successful push for the side of Starman Kick. They make their way into mid. Now they have to try and get themselves into second, and now is the best time to do so. Vap is going in deep, going for the med, is actually going to be backing away a little bit, doesn't overcommit, and I like that. They just push enemy team back.
Lots of space.
Ever so slightly. Whoa, that is a bomb from Slater. I think Slater just tried to rocket jump away after eating a direct from Vap, and ended up taking himself out. So there is no Uber in play just yet. However, if Unknown continues to build this out properly with value, they could take this in, and they could win another round. They have to be quick with it, though. They need to get in pretty much as soon as Tadpole gets their Uber. But they're not going to do that. They're going to let it even out. They're not going to try anything crazy. And we'll be sitting here waiting for something to happen, I suppose. This is where, like we were talking about earlier, those aggressive sacks where you just try and get in the med's face really start to shine through. But unfortunately, with the sentry being under bridge, it does get a little difficult to try and get into that position.
It really does. I mean, now it's just sort of up to what the plan is, really. Right? I mean, Vap's down. They have the opportunity to go for an offense if they really want to, or just keep working these soldier sacks. Not really as a thing like a Gullywash to where, you know, you're going for all of these pressure cooker stuff. Obviously, you want to pressure cook for the gun, but other than that, you really just want to be getting some sort of aggressive sack going or trying to find kills in this left side lobby.
Yeah, and you want to try and get a little bit more presence than we're seeing them have right now. You have to try and balance, you know, spamming out with peeking out. As we see, Marks V just gets way too aggressive. So does Mike's. Gets caught in the corner. I think the knockback from the Rockets is a little too much. Wait a minute! That's almost a drop! Unknown walks away! He's almost gonna drop here!
God,
the soldier isn't able to get in! What a surf! Mystic Liquid cleans up Santa, who gets caught inside the point. Unknown lives. That Uber is still in play. They use forward. They're going to try and catch out as many people as they can here. It's a 1-person Uber versus a 2-person Uber. That enemy team Uber is going to end very early on, but Unknown is just getting left to dry. Turn around and help your medic. That means Slater's going to go down. Value's going to have to trade out.
What's happening here?
This is awkward. Tadpole does die. Wait a minute. This
Can't
could turn in.
There's a gun. There's a gun.
Yeah, you have to get your soldiers here. You have to try and get them to spam this gun. You can't be peeking it like this right now. Mike's goes down. Santa is in the top left in raining uniform players. Vap goes down. Marks V goes down. The spawners are here to defend the last point. And Starman Kick just tried to buy. They bit off more than they could chew. There's nothing they can do there. You're not supposed to be peeking like that.
No, that is never something that anybody will ever tell you to do there. It's just, it's not going to work out for you. You need to have consistent pressure with a buff player or 2 soldiers shooting at the same time. A scout corner peeking a gun with the engineer still repairing it is never going to work out in your favor. So now, Value dead, but it is even players right now. Here comes the Soldier Bomb through, is only able to jump through one rocket. So still a lot of spam happening in choke, but it looks like everybody from enemy team is trying to get their way through. Soldier fades through, they're poking their demo through choke, but they realize that they now have their Soldier up. It's not really worth it to try to push anymore. They're going to choose to chill on their second, make sure that they can get their Uber charge, and now it is back to Starman, who's in the driver's seat to go for these sacks.
Yeah, and Starman really needs to try and get more aggressive. We've seen that they're pretty passive, all things considered. They take a long time to set up the plays they want to do. And when you're in this kind of situation, I guess you can make it work, but you're not really supposed to be doing anything crazy here. They do have value up on Sniper. So looking at them here, they're trying to peek through Cafe, and it doesn't work out for them. The Sniper is spotted. They take that shot, so they know that they were at least in Cafe. Value is very obviously going to rotate. No way you can stay there. Looks like they're going to rotate to Valley and try and find somebody. Immediately spotted by Slater, but Value is slow peeking around the corner. Slater is hiding in lower lobby, and 5 minutes. Actually, it's 4.5 minutes till overtime kicks in, folks. It's 3-1 right now in favor of enemy team. Maybe for those of you who are just tuning in, it's the final map of the Amateur Grand Finals, the last RGL match of the season. And it is getting... Everything is getting left on the field here. Value still up on Sniper, trying to find a pick, but there is nobody in Valley. They need to rotate and potentially peek through Cafe. Again, that could work out here. Value is going to be able to find Slater. There we go. That's the pick they're looking for, and that opens up a window to send in some kind of sack, so it'll at least be a trade. They need to go quickly, though. They are taking forever to try and make this work.
It seems like they're just actually going to be working a Value through Cafe. He does find another pick. That's 2 soldiers dead right now. That's going to mean that probably going to be an exchange here, and they do exchange really early. But we're popped back immediately, not even trying to milk it slightly. They don't want dying here. But they do have player added in this post because there are still players dead. They're trying to control on the shutter. Goatsman, though, is able to find a pick of his own, and so is Tracking. So that's a nice little consolation prize. Allows him to play second here. There is still a sniper playing on Cafe. Is able to body shot the demo down to only 50 HP. But now they have to back up. They do not have the space to play with after they've died of both those scouts. But the scout in behind on Unknown right now. Unknown down to 17 HP.
The soldiers in to try and clean it up. They keep beefing. Oates is trying to get in and get the kill as well.
Unknown
Oates is
so
hunting
far.
it down. Unknown is able to get out. Wait a minute. There's a soldier giving chase to Unknown. Unknown hits the rocket. Santa goes. Santa gets the kill. Santa goes the full mile. Oh my goodness gracious. Starman kick loses their med. Tadpole's alive. Going to be able to at least bust out a second with full Uber ad. And it's 2.5 minutes remaining until overtime kicks in, and that round limit gets reduced to 4. We could potentially, well, I mean, at this point, we are going to see another 4-3 game. There is no doubt in my mind about it, unless we can see enemy team get some kind of crazy wipe,
They do
gain
have ad
some
right
insane
now.
momentum, and get a pretty much coast to coast on this map. Uber does come out. They push forward to Unknown. Unknown does not have that Uber. Unknown is at 50 HP here. They could die at any moment. They catch the pack. The Uber gets nothing. Find Lo-Fi goes down. Mikes is in behind. Tadpole and Lo-Fi getting taken out here. This is huge for the side of Starman.
Gets one.
This could be the round. Converted. Tracking goes down. Oates goes down. They're going to be pushing into last here. And this is it. This is the second round one for the side of Starman Kick. There is nothing enemy team can do. It is 2-3 on this beautiful amateur grand final.
They committed so hard for Unknown right there, but Unknown did a great job of living, immediately soaking the damage from the demo and then snagging the pack. And every single person from enemy team sold out so hard to go for that medic kill that they just completely left themselves in the open. And the post flaps was just absolutely perfect from the side of Starman Kick. Now, working their way into mid right now, this has been the hard point for Starman Kick. They have not really solved it just yet in terms of having a really solid mid win. They had one, but it was just barely. They lose VAP alone on the right side early, and this rotation is super quick. Everybody is caught in the enemy cafe right now, and this is just going to be a meat grinder. Only Value and Mystic are the last combat classes, and Value taking down to 40 HP, 50 now. It's going to be under the point and traded out for Slater. Now it's only on the Mystic. Mystic needs a miracle here, but it's not going to have enough damage to do so. Just Unknown alive, but Unknown actually slips away through Valley. Not without Lo-Fi chasing him, though. Lo-Fi looking for the pipe onto the Medic. Is not going to find it. Unknown actually dies to the roar! Just so barely!
No.
So barely dies to him.
Oh, and Value
insane.
dropped the lull upon seeing their med die to a roller. Now, it isn't going to be crazy ad for either team. Overtime kicks in, 25 seconds, and it will be 1st to 4. That will put enemy team in a very advantageous position. They're still up around, but this could turn back around and come to bite them pretty quick. Unknown, 40% disad here as we slowly advance towards potential push from enemy team in a second. Overtime kicks in right now, and the round limit has been reduced. It's 1st to 4 as we watch this grand final unfold. It's match point.
Big pick right now.
Enemy
Slater.
team. That's a huge pick.
Ad. Don't forget this is ad right now.
They're making their way, and they don't even want to use the Uber. They're on concrete for free, and honestly, I don't fault Starman kick for running away. Unknown is going to get caught out here. There's nobody to save Unknown. 3 players down for the side of Starman kick, and enemy team is looking to close this one out for good. Mystic Liquid finds a pick from Bridge. Vap goes down here. The Pyro comes out. Will they be able to find Lo-Fi? Great arrow from the side of enemy team, and it is over. Amateur Grand Finals end with enemy team as your victors, your first place champions after such a long night. We went into Saturday morning TF2. It is 22 past midnight here on the East Coast of the United States. Oh my goodness gracious.
What a heater to end off the season with. I really think that was just obviously such an entertaining series from the flubs from both teams, but both teams pressed on the gas that entire grand finals. There was not a moment where they had an avenue where they could be aggressive, where they weren't immediately trying to send it for either the enemy team's medic or just trying to push all the events that they possibly could. Only sort of things that we saw slowing down were people hesitating taking Ubers into last. But other than that, this was such an entertaining series to watch and a great way to end off this season of RGL. And man, I have nothing but congrats for enemy team right now. They played great. They've got the results they were hoping for, winning 2-0, or actually 3-0. No, 3-1. What am I saying? 2-1. Oh my gosh, I am tired. I imagine they are too. I just can't imagine how good it feels to have that long of a grand finals and just be able to pull out in just that last moment. It's got to be so euphoric for them.
I mean, being able to just stay locked in and stay in the zone for as long as these teams were doing it is commendable, regardless of if they won grands or not. There's a lot of things to commend these teams for. And regardless of whether or not Starman Kick took home first place, they still made their way to grands.
Sure
they
did.
were here for a reason, and they proved that they were here for a reason. But unfortunately for the Starman Kick fans, doesn't look like they are going to be able to hold on to their top seed title as enemy team comes in again. They are technically considered the lower seed. Starman Kick is listed as 1 and enemy team is listed as 2. So enemy team comes in and takes home the series, takes home the season, and that actually concludes the season. Again, this was the final match of season 18. This is the last one. This is where it all was laid out. This is where it all ended, and what a game to end the season on as we move into the postseason and into the preseason for season 19. I'm interested to see what these guys are going to do for next season after winning amateur.
I mean, they got to go to IM. Right? This team,
You would think,
with a little bit more refinement, I could easily see them doing well in IM. Obviously, there was a lot of spaghetti that happened in this match and a lot of things that went wrong. If they're able to clean this up and continue as a team, I could easily see this being an IM team with some promise.
Yeah. There's tons of ways that there's tons of ways that they could try and turn things around and definitely do a good season of intermediate. But time will tell if that's where they decide to go. But we do have the logs up on screen. We're not going to spend too much time looking at these because I'm tired. I want food. I'm so hungry. I have to go to bed. I have to practice driving tomorrow. So let's take a look at these logs. Lo-fi at the top with 23 kills. Actually, the logs weren't sorted. I lied to you. It's going to be Oats at the top with 253 DPM,
Goatsman.
178 DTM. So these are pretty good numbers to be putting up. Value again, topping the team with kills, 230 DPM, 206 DTM. So it's not like the kills are a crazy diff. It's just that it feels like enemy team is far more put together than Starman Kick was. Starman Kick definitely felt a little bit more disjointed, a little bit more discombobulated. And unfortunately, that cost them the game. That cost them the game.
Yeah,
And
very narrowly did.
it sucks, but second place again, that's nothing to scoff at. That's a lot of room to look at and improve. Again, even with enemy team being able to make some improvements and go into intermediate, we could say the exact same thing for Starman Kick. There is 100% a possibility to work on some things, improve, and have a good intermediate season. But it really just depends on time to tell what is going to happen. But that, I think, is going to conclude our broadcast days because we have been technically been doing this for 2 days. We went from
Yeah, we did.
Friday into Saturday morning TF2. So I have been Eki with Bong Gripper and Pika on production. You have just watched the final match of RGL Season 18 Sixes, and we move in to the preseason of Season 19, starting now, pretty much.
But don't forget, we do have Newbie Cup starting soon, so you will see a few more casts from us in the meantime before the next season does
Mhm.
start up. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, it was a pleasure to cast for you guys tonight. Thank you all for showing up. Shout outs to all the players. Appreciate Fireside for always letting us do what we love. It's a big passion of mine, so I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, and I think we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you all again for tuning in, and make sure to mark your calendars for those Newbie Cup dates that are coming your way.
You guys have a great night. Thanks again for showing up, everybody. Have a great preseason, and we'll see you for the next one.